Even in Las Vegas, they're repping out there. Kyle Busch looking to make it 6 in a row in the Xfinity Series. Can he get it done? Stick around. It's orientation.
Hey, how are you doing on this Saturday afternoon? Trending towards a Saturday evening on the East Coast, anyway. How does my mic sound? Sounds good. Sounds passable. Sounds passable. Today I have one bet in the race. It's Cole Custer. Michael sent me a picture of the bet slip yesterday, but I already forgot what I make if he wins, so let me look again. So I can be pleasantly surprised. Cole Custer. If Custer wins, I get $16. Works for me. It's got into the low 70s today here in North Carolina, and it's really bright and sunny. This is your daily weather report. So you know what kind of environment I'm in watching this race. Window open is always a good day. Window open and no real need to use the fan. Still haven't watched SmackDown from last night. I gotta do that later, but I might just take a nap after this race. I don't know. Dylan might be coming. I haven't heard from him. Of course, we might play some Heat 5 later, and I might stream it. And that Arby's commercial looks delicious, but I'm about to get Domino's here in a little bit. Would have preferred Papa John's, but Domino's is cheaper, and it was good last time, so we'll get it again. Chandler Smith on the pole here. I think Logano got the pole for tomorrow. The interesting top 10 you got there. Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, Brett Moffitt, Josh Berry, Parker Kligerman, John Hunter, Nemechek, Daniel Hemrick, Austin Hill, Riley Herbst. Kyle Busch qualified 11th, but we'll start from the rear.
He's not the only driver in the field looking.
He's not the only driver.
As the rest of the Xfinity drivers look for their number to hit. It's Vegas, baby. With one roll of the dice, you can turn hope into belief. This is the NASCAR Xfinity Series on FS1.
Here come the gambling puns. Who's gonna roll the dice? Las Vegas. I hate Fox, but we got Blaney and Harvick in the booth, so this should be bearable.
In the playoffs, and all the stars are out in the booth today. Ryan Blaney is here for a third.
YRB, he's still YRB.
During the rain last week.
Gonna be YRB for a while yet.
And the 2014 Cup champion Kevin Harvick is in the house as well, making his first appearance of 2023.
Kevin Harvick, former flattened rear windshield Las Vegas winner.
Last week in California. Now, I know that track is bigger and wider. I would anticipate, though, the racing going to be just as good here today.
It will be.
I think the racing's going to be exceptional today.
Characteristics, right? But here I always look at the win, and we saw it a little bit on the pre-race during the anthem. You saw the big flag in the back, how bad it's gusting, right? It's straight down the backstretch. So and that's going to be a big factor today. The spotters on the roof are probably going to have to tell the drivers constantly throughout the race, okay, did it move directions? Is it gusting harder? Just because that's something you have to factor in.
Well, I think when you look at that flag, I think you saw the effect that it had in Cup qualifying. It literally changed in the middle of the last round, and as that changed, cars that were trying to run wide open through 3 and 4 all of a sudden lost the nose. So turns 3 and 4, to me, you have a couple choices. I think the middle will be there as we go through the beginning of the race until it rubbers up. And then it'll probably be no man's land after the restart when the rubber.
Harvick looks like a college professor.
All the way on the white line or all the way against the fence.
You guys are talking about the wind. A storm is brewing today. Kyle Busch back.
Don't say storm on race day. There's no weather. Just windy. Remember the sandstorm in this weekend in 2016? The Cup race in 2016. There was like a fucking sandstorm. Kyle Busch driving the number 10. Oh boy, that's going to be weird to get used to.
Can he get it done today? We'll find out shortly. Now let's get the command.
And now, race fans,
Josh Berry pulling double duty this weekend.
Please welcome
Hello,
Senior
Derpy.
Vice President of Marketing and
Feels weird calling you
Communications
Derpy, but that's your
for
name.
Richard Childress Racing, Jennifer White.
Wait, who? Just kidding.
Who? Richard Childress Racing. Drivers, start your engines.
Come on, cold custard. I want a little money today.
Put your cards on the table. Push the chips.
Ah, here he goes. Your lame-ass gambling puns.
In Las Vegas. We're green with the Xfinity Series when we come back live.
Mad that Bush didn't win what? Daytona? Are you talking about Daytona? Oh, the 500. Yeah, I was about to say. What more do you want? He won the Cup race last week. He won trucks last night. But yeah, Daytona. I would still be mad too. I was a little disappointed that he didn't win. That he didn't win Daytona as well. I'm surprised I'm saying that, but here we are. Got his work cut out for him today. A lot of backup cars from a week ago. To try to save the team's money, they got to run the same car and everything from last week in Fontana. So Sheldon Creed, Josh Berry, Brandon Jones, Kyle Busch, Cole Custer, Greg Gaulding going to backup cars for changing from last week. Kyle seemed frustrated that they couldn't adjust more on his car like he wanted to, and they got to start in the back, but it's a lot of work for Kyle Busch. Come on, man. He's going for the weekend sweep for the third time in his career, but the first time at his home racetrack. That'd be something. Be a great way to start the year for Kyle. As stupid as it is that he's in this race, and it's even dumber that he was in the truck race, but you know what? I've been beaten into submission for the last decade, fighting Cup guys and Xfinity guys, running overpowered equipment in the lower series. I've just grown to accept it. I don't like it, but I've grown to accept it, so I just kind of deal with it. There's no point in bitching. Just the occasional sarcastic, oh my God, I'm so shocked he won, like I said last night at the end of the truck race when I streamed that. I actually did stream the truck race last night, shockingly enough. I like how they suspended Bubba, and rightfully so, for wrecking Larson here last fall, but they just showed that wreck in the commercial for tomorrow's Cup race. I love when NASCAR does shit like that. I wish the leaderboard on NASCAR.com had some more flair to it, like if it would have the actual number fonts for the drivers to make it pop a little more. Because this leaderboard's very dull to look at. Oh, it's music video time. Sorry. I got back for commercial. I got excited to unmute it. yeah, Josh Berry did win here last year. How did I forget that? I love Josh Berry. It's been a long 12 months since last year. Cars are rolling. Good crowd on the front stretch for this race.
The weather going to be a challenge as well. You saw it there on Fox Weather. The guys talked about it. It is windy. It is cool. One guy that has been able to weather the storm so far this weekend is the youngster out of Georgia. I'm talking about Chandler Smith. Good yesterday in practice, even better in qualifying. 6 career start today. He is starting on the pole for the very first time. You know, 21 is kind of a threshold for fun in Las Vegas. How about the drivers under 21 yet? Yeah,
Parker Retzlaff does not look like a race car driver, and I love it. Sam Mayer looks like a big fucking goober. Drives like one most of the time. Sammy Smith looks like a fucking high schooler, but then again, he is 18.
Starts 14th today. Let's go from the driver's seat.
Yeah. Hey, Sammy Smith, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, Adam Alexander, the Fox booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right. Well, you put on a great show last week at Fontana. You looked really, really fast for your first time being there. What are you thinking on today? How do you think the wind's going to play, and what do you think your car has in it for some speed?
Yeah, we definitely didn't qualify where we wanted to, but we had a fast flying J Toyota GR Super, and hopefully it's as fast as Xfinity 10G. We'll move our way forward.
Boy, they are all programmed to say fastest Xfinity 10G.
First time he's ever been to this racetrack. Some work to do.
It's amazing. They all say it. It's like when drivers take sips of their Cokes on camera in interviews.
Happened here yesterday. And as you look at the starting grid, there are some pretty good drivers going to have to drop to the rear. Not those, though, on the front row. Chandler Smith there with Justin Allgaier, the veteran, looking for his first Vegas win. Row 2, Cole Custer, one of the drivers going to the rear. We'll note all of them here in a couple of minutes. Great effort in qualifying yesterday for Brett Moffitt.
Row 3, we've got Josh Berry, who has obviously had a lot of success here, and his junior motorsports Chevrolet.
Excuse me.
Alongside of him, Parker Kligerman.
Yeah, row 4, John Hunter Nemechek, last week's winner, will be starting.
Blaney was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to talk about this.
Daniel Hemrick right alongside him, still battling a little bit of a knee injury.
My good friend Michael, who's in most of my streams, won't be in this stream today. He's working.
Daytona winner.
Plenty of talent in the field today. We talked earlier about Kyle Busch being here.
So if Custer wins and I'm excited, I got to remember to not text him. If Custer wins me money.
He comes in with plenty of momentum. Got the Cup victory last Sunday in Fontana, California. Last night made his return to the Craftsman Truck Series, and he was awesome. They changed manufacturers at KBM, same old results. 63rd career win for Rowdy, the 4th time he's been able to get it done here. KBM now as an organization, 99 wins all time. We'll watch him in the 10 car today. Let's get last reports from pit road. Before we go, Green, we start things with Josh Sims. Hey, Josh.
Well, Adam, as you saw, Kyle Busch got the win here in the
Nice
Truck
breezy day there. It's nice outside here where I'm at. I could do with a little more wind. I'd like a nice breeze coming through this window.
His number 10 Chevy heading into this race. They had some issues in practice yesterday. Said he fired up just way too free. Then a tire went down. He said they're going to be working on this car all race long to get it exactly where they need it to be. He's also going to have to start from the back of the field. But if anybody can make their way to the front, it is Kyle Busch, who's riding a 5-race win streak in the Xfinity Series and has a couple wins here in Vegas. Regan?
Well, Josh, it's been a fast start to the season for John Hunter Nemechek. Second in Daytona, and of course our winner last week in California. Fast forward to Las Vegas, qualified 7th yesterday.
Regan Smith, look into the eyes of a future serial killer. I'm surprised Regan Smith didn't go the route of John West Townley. Rest in peace. Regan just looks like he's really fighting the urge to kill someone.
Yeah, let's look at those drivers, Regan, that are dropping to the rear. They basically treated last week's race in Fontana, and the race here today is a doubleheader. And so if you had to go to a backup car, you have to go to the rear today. And there are a number of really good drivers going back there. Among them, Cole Custer. You got Sheldon Creed, who's had a ton of speed, goes to a backup car. We mentioned Josh Berry, Brandon Jones, and obviously Kyle Busch. And there are a host of others that had to make some form of adjustment prior to today's race that was not approved by NASCAR. So there will be some coming and going in the early portion of today's 300-mile event. With that,
He said coming. I thought this was a family show.
And it is 200 laps.
Because there's no weather, no bullshit competition caution before our bullshit competition caution to end stage 1.
100 laps. You look at that fuel window, and that's significant because typically you get into that final stage and you can see some green flag pit stops here.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that will have to do with when you pit, too. You'll have the short pitting, the guys who try to catch that yellow, and regardless, the tires are going to degrade at this particular racetrack, and the lap times are going to fall off, and your car's going to have to handle. So, I think as we get going at the beginning of the race, those guys coming from the rear are going to have to be really hard on their car and their tires to try to work their way forward.
Yeah, and those guys coming from the rear also, I think they're going to be the first guys up the racetrack. They're going to be first guys trying to work in the third lane, the fourth lane at the wall, just because they need to make some ground. So that'll work in all the lanes, I think, pretty quickly, because there's definitely some fast guys back there that are looking to make some hay early.
Austin Hill won the season opener at Daytona, rolls off 5th here this afternoon.
Got me on 2 there. So far, you might lose me here in a little bit, but I got you right now. Got a racket set to hold you on the roof up there. That's what I'm talking about. It's brutal. I think it's going to blow over.
Now the wind going to be a factor today, no doubt, as we get set here in Las Vegas. The all-new Toyota GR Supra leads the field. Chandler Smith wins the pole, takes the outside to start. Do we anticipate that throughout the day with the control car in the front row?
I think so. I think, coming to the outside lane and going into turn 1 just allows you to go over those bumps smoothly, that you're not having to worry about somebody on the right rear of your car, getting your car loose. There's just a lot of benefits to being on the outside and carrying that momentum down the back straightaway.
Sit back and enjoy 300 miles. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series, live from Las Vegas.
Going green.
Here we go.
God, I'm sleepy right at the start of the race. Just like yesterday, I'm sleepy again. I need a nap. Austin Hill, 3 wide for third already. John Hunter trying to go 3 wide for the lead. Chandler Smith gets a push from Moffitt off into 1, pulls ahead. They're 3 wide for 5th now.
But that's part of this front stretch.
Chandler Smith gets out front. Moffitt and Allgaier side by side for second. And John Hunter 3 wide in the middle of Kligerman and Hill.
Lay back and get good restarts, and that's a pretty big trend.
They're going to make it through lap 1 without somebody getting hurt. How about the speed in Moffitt's car to be this close to the front? They qualified well. Shows you they got speed. Chandler Smith's driving away, 7 in the 25, side drafting the hell out of each other. And Allgaier sends it off into 3. Can he clear the 25? Yes. The top 3 sorted itself out. Really, the top 4 from 5th on back. It's mayhem. Kyle Busch 3 wide for 22nd. Kyle Busch gained a lot of spots on lap 1. Oh, Kligerman spins in turn 1, but he's on the apron. Woo! Caution's out on lap 3.
A trend that picks up off the spring race here a year ago. We had 11 cautions in the spring, only 3 in the fall, and 2 of those were for stage ends. So hopefully we can find our rhythm here early.
We always talk about
You're not going to find your rhythm early. There's a caution on lap 3. The ship has sailed.
Tires, you have an early spin like this, it already puts you in the hole.
He was in a pretty hairy situation. You get some help? Old John Hunter packed it in, spun him out. John Hunter Nemechek spun Parker Kligerman for no reason.
John Hunter was a little bit frustrated by the beginning laps over there when he felt like Parker might have squeezed him.
Yeah, it's really good to get frustrated on lap 3 of a 200-lap race.
48 for Big Machine, and didn't have the finish he wanted at Daytona. Comes back last week, finishes inside the top 10. Great qualifying.
Good save by Parker, though. Locked it down, kept it on the apron off the racetrack, but was turned around and stopped, so they had to throw the caution.
Sam Mayer did a great job missing him.
Don't anticipate any pit stops.
Ain't nobody pitting here. Go to commercial.
4 laps in, Chandler Smith leading Allgaier, Moffitt, Hill.
Oh, John Hunter. reminding you why he'll never be in the Cup Series in a good ride, most likely. Although he's getting some Toyota support now, so maybe there's another chance for him, but he does too many stupid things like that. His rookie year in Cup, though he was driving a bad car, was hilariously bad. He was like a modern-day 2008 version of Sam Hornish in the Cup Series. You, a Richmond Raceway commercial. The short track that thinks it's Kentucky, Richmond Raceway. That should be their new tagline. The short track that thinks it's Kentucky. Well, that Applebee's commercial sure looks nice. What funny song are they playing? Oh, I missed it. Had a steak yesterday. It was fucking delicious. Still thinking about it. Steak's living rent-free in my head. Oh, it's a post almond honey bunches of oats with almonds commercial. We have like 1 million boxes of that shit at my store, and nobody buys them. So I guess they're not very good. It's like, fuck, where the fuck are we going to put all these stupid boxes of these honey bunches of oats that nobody wants? Biggest movers, Kyle Busch up 11 spots, Josh Berry up 10, Custer up 9. Not surprised.
Huge for them to close that gap, Kevin.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't really realize this is a game of time, and we always talk about how hard our cars are to pass sometimes and this and that. But when you can get that, when you start in the back and you can get a caution and you can close that distance back up and have another restart to get another chunk of them right on a restart while you're close to the leader, you can stay closer to the leader. So huge gift for those guys.
Fox found a little kid to zoom in on there randomly.
And not a gift for Chandler Smith, who had gained the lead, was just out there. On
No blurred dash cams in the Xfinity Series.
Next to Justin Allgaier, once again, Smith takes the outside lane. We're just underway. An early caution and already a restart here in Las Vegas.
Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, and Brett Moffitt up front.
They always are here, right?
A little short caution here for the Kligerman spin, thanks to John Hunter Nemechek. Beware, John Hunter Nemechek may be beginning another rampage today. 3 wide for 5th, and Nemechek's in the middle of it. I like how he keeps going to the middle and putting himself in bad situations and getting frustrated with the guys around him like it's their fault. Allgaier had the lead off of 2, but Chandler Smith got around him on the outside. Austin Hill's really good on these starts and restarts today.
He didn't have a lot of forward momentum going into 3.
16 clears the 7 off of 4, 3 wide further back. John Hunter going 3 wide on the bottom around Hemrick and Herbst.
How big is this, Kevin? Young driver learning through experience early and doing it with success in Chandler Smith.
Well, you have to take those reps and coming to the green flag and doing the restarts and being able to know how much throttle.
John Hunter up to 4th.
On the racetrack. In order to learn it, you have to do it. But I can tell you, there's
a man on a mission.
That have had success, but Chandler Smith.
Cole Custer's broken into the top 20. He got by Kyle Busch.
That's hard to do in itself.
Josh Berry's 12th, though. Look out. Junior Motorsports was wicked on the 1.5 for most of last year. Ooh, Moffitt loose. And I thought Herbst and Reddick were going to wreck in the middle of the corner, but they don't. Herbst and Sammy Smith come out of that in pretty good shape. They gained a couple spots.
Just then, he about hit the wall again.
Herbst right on the door of Sammy Smith.
He's had his hands full. But yes, Josh Berry's doing a good job coming from the back.
And so is Sammy Smith. You know, they qualified 14th. They weren't happy with that.
Reddick managed to make it 10 laps into the race this week without getting put into the wall by a Junior Motorsports car. The day is young.
We've seen the Junior Motorsports cars be fast here. You know, I mean, I feel
No shit, Josh Berry won here last year.
They've been really good and contending for the win and always being in it and winning a handful of those races as well. So I would look to see, you know, those guys will be really strong, especially Berry and Mayer coming from the back and already making the gains that they've made. That shows that those cars are really fast.
Talk about Junior Motorsports. Joe Racing been good here as well. Won this race a season ago with Ty Gibbs.
When will Brandon Jones get wrecked this week? He's in a bad group right now. He's 25th after having to start in the back. Must have not gotten a good restart there.
So those guys didn't really have any lapses, so it's not like he's at a big tire advantage right now. He's on stickers, but you know, it's not like if these guys had 20 laps, then he could maybe make up for what happened.
Kyle Busch up to 16th. Got back by Cole Custer. Joe Graff Jr. in a JGR car is 17th. Just pointing that out. I'm going to point that out every time Joe Graff's not in the top 10 driving one of the best cars in the series.
Until they got a few laps into the run, felt like if they could get the clean air, keep them out front, the further they went into the run, the better that car was going to be for him.
Smith and Allgaier are driven away from the rest of the field. It's definitely a two-car race for now.
1 year ago here,
John Hunter passed Austin Hill for third.
In the Craftsman Truck Series, so he has experience, not just here at Las Vegas, but he's won and he beat the best. So he
Chandler
understands
Smith's
what it's all
car
about. And
not
he's
as
got
good
a
on
great
corner
group
entry into
behind
one
him
as
right now.
Allgaier's
He is
was.
dogged by the 7
And he's a little loose off of two. Opens the door for Allgaier. Ooh, he got right. How'd that not cut the 16th tire as close as Allgaier was?
I feel like there's always grip down there.
And Allgaier's going to take the lead easily.
And Justin, you can tell that he does everything he can do to put his left
New
front
leader,
tire
the
right on
7.
that white line to take advantage of that grip.
Isn't that what we call harvicking in Atlanta forever?
It's very similar, especially 3 and 4. You know, being on the bottom of the racetrack and hooking that white line in 3 and 4 here is very similar.
Berry racing by Mayer, put the 8 in the 8th position as we look at the pass for the lead.
We saw this when it happened, and I pointed out how close the 7 was to his damn tire.
Yeah.
They just now notice.
Yeah, you know, I'm
Hemrick
curious to
top
see,
5.
You know, Chandler got passed by Justin. Justin really hasn't pulled away from him. So, you know, try to learn a little bit. Chandler's moved up the racetrack. That middle lane, that lane up that he's running, that's a pretty good lane. I've always enjoyed running there. Splitting the seam of the first and second lanes kind of de-wedges the car. Helps you turn a little bit. So, especially in 1 and 2, 3 and 4, I feel like
Kyle Busch up to 12th. Rajay Carew 13th.
Time for Chandler to kind of learn about, you know, what's Justin doing to maybe where this car does
Joe Graff Jr. has fallen to 19th after getting passed by Ryan Sieg and Jeb Burton. Way to go.
Pissed off some 30 laps or so.
Talked about Josh Berry making his move through the field, not far behind him. Kyle Busch from the back. He is 12th right now, driving the 10 car for College. And that car has had a lot of speed the last couple of weeks. It's the All-Star car over there. Justin Haley, top 10 at Daytona. It was wounded last week when Austin Dillon brought it back for a top 10 finish in Fontana, California. Kyle going to be driving it again next weekend in Phoenix. AJ Allman.
So Chase Elliott's going to totally win the championship this year, right, after coming back from his leg injury?
Experience winning at the top level. Going to be driving
Pretty much.
10. It's fast again today.
Is that what we think is going to happen?
You know, last week we talked so much about debris on a grill, and we got a report that maybe that's the situation here for the guy in second, Chandler Smith. Listen in.
Oh, yeah, he does have a little trash there.
All right, copy. We got to get on somebody. That's what we got to do.
7 starting to drive away from him.
Let's back up to the 20.
Yeah, they told him to back up to the 20, so that does make a little more
How hard
sense
is
now.
it to do that? I've always thought that was a tough thing to do.
Well, it depends on how fast the temperature's going up, and you know if the engine won't run. And
Joe Graff Jr. has fallen to 21st, driving a Joe Gibbs racing car.
So sometimes you have to.
The longer this race goes, the worse he gets, if you can believe it.
Taking care of the car and doing what you have to do. So it just depends on how fast those temps are going up as to how desperate he is.
Kyle Busch up to 11.
Well, John Hunter's going to take advantage of this.
For second.
Yeah,
Kyle Busch about to break the top 10 here. He's looking to the outside of Moffitt.
He's made a ton of moves. We know he started from the back of the field. already making a move up the board in the big
Damn, an Xfinity race where I'm talking to myself. This is rare.
He told the team he'll be able to give them a baseline of what they need. So not just going for wins, but helping the team get better and better. That is the big thing about having Kyle Busch in that car this week and next.
And he will give an honest evaluation, right? I mean, he is not going to short anybody on his knowledge. And, you know, we look up in front of him.
16 dropped behind the 20 and couldn't get the trash off the grill.
Nice move he made to get around Chandler Smith.
Yeah, and, you know, and you haven't seen the debris go away on the 16 car yet. So
No, he's still got the trash on the grill.
And get that debris to come off. So you've seen the 16 kind of not running the bottom, especially in 3-4. He tried. I mean, that's I cannot believe it didn't come off right there.
That's a pain in the ass. That thing must be glued to that grill.
I mean, the temperature's still rising. He's still got trash.
He's got a teammate coming up. Daniel Hemrick's back in 5th, so might have to let Hill go by and try his luck with his teammate.
For 11th, Moffitt and Tyler Reddick.
Like someone I think is going to be at the wall before anybody else. It's just kind of the way he is, and always searching around. You saw Kyle Busch start running the 3rd lane or so in 3 and 4. You see Reddick up there, and I expect this track to widen out here to where they get up in that top lane before too long.
And it's another reason that I love this particular series. Tyler Reddick and another team that can use his feedback.
And the 16s, I don't think he's going to. Oh, did it go off? I think it went off. There's the dramatic cam. Hey, he got the trash off the grill. He got behind the 21 and it flew off. But he's lost a second and a half to Allgaier and a couple more positions. And John Hunter Nemechek's run down Allgaier for the lead. Looks like he's going to make it easy. Allgaier a little loose in the middle of 3 and 4. Went up high and Nemechek slides right by. Look at Fox not missing these lead changes for once.
Well, these are strong racetracks for those Joe Gibbs racing cars, and when you come to Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Xfinity Series, for a long time, it's those guys have made a lot of speed, especially on the long runs. As they get going.
That's something that's always stood out to me.
My man Custer's stuck in 20th. Is Custer just completely washed already in his young career? He's driving like he did in Cup. He's back there in Joe Graff Jr. territory. John Hunter Nemechek is your leader. I guess it's good to be with you, Adam Alexander. Adam Alexander actually isn't that bad in the booth. He's just kind of a dweeb, kind of corny, but he's not that bad. And putting him with Blaney and Harvick is great. I'll be right back. You care, I have pizza. Domino's. Beautiful Domino's. Wanted Papa John's, but I'll take this. Oh, that looks fucking good. Yeah, I'll take this. Damn, son. This is going to be good. I'm a simple man. Extra pepperoni, extra cheese. And they took that shit seriously today. Dylan, where are you? You got to come help me finish this pizza. Fun fact. Domino's and Papa John's seem to be the only pizzas in the world that still taste good after they go a little cold. Pizza Hut turns into shitty cardboard if you let it go cold. So you better eat it all when it's fresh.
Just over 15 laps remaining. Opening stage for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in Las Vegas. The race leader, John Hunter.
Battle for the lead's not done. Allgaier's making another run.
Sunday evening in Fontana, California. He's been out front for 7 circuits here today. You look at his history. Raced full-time in the Xfinity cars 2019. 7th in points. Did get a win. 2020 moves to Cup. Didn't go his way. So he said, I want to win races. Joins Kyle Busch Motorsports, and he did that. 2021, 2022. Now he's back in an Xfinity car, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. The results have been great so far in 2023. Nearly won Daytona. He got the victory.
69 starts. Nice.
And leading here today. You know, it takes me to his dad, Joe. Won here in Las Vegas 20 years ago in an Xfinity car, 2003. Any idea who finished second?
I do not. I mean, I'm going to give, I guess I could guess, maybe.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. Here's the thing I love about John.
What up, Garen?
He's 25 years old, and he's had all that.
They're delivering pizza, but
everything that he's raced in and been
I've got pizza as we speak.
With his family and his dad being so successful, especially in this particular series. But the thing that I love about what Toyota does with their young
Kyle
drivers,
charged from the rear, had to start in the back.
and they
He's up to
bring them
10th,
and they give them
and he's
time, and
pretty
they
much
push them
stalled
all the
out
way
there
through
for now.
The trucks and Xfinity Series, and you've seen
Of
all
the cars
things
that started
change
dead
in
last,
Kyle,
Josh Berry's the best of the bunch right
going
now.
from
He's
Toyota
7th.
to Chevrolet and all the different opportunities that the two manufacturers created in order to have this competition that's brewing this year amongst the two of them with all the changes in the drivers.
Well, we talk about the success for Joe Gibbs Racing. One of the drivers that won a title for them, Daniel Hemrick, is up inside the top 5 and looking good so far in today's race. So we go since the restart, right? We had that early caution. And the guy that no doubt has dominated in the category of biggest mover since we returned to the green flag is the guy that brought out the caution, and that would be Parker Kligerman. Restarts in the back. He's worked his way to the top 15. So, I mean, he's obviously got pretty good race car. Plus 22.
It's been moving up the racetrack, and trying to find some fresh grip. I've been watching up here, and it's been a good amount of guys trying to move up.
Oh yeah, John Hunter Nemechek spun Parker Kligerman for no reason on lap 3. Kligerman's back up to 15th.
Some cleaner racetracks, so we'll watch his progress for sure.
You know, one driver that hasn't moved up as much throughout the field as we thought, this guy, Cole Custer, he's 17th right now. What's up there, Josh?
Yeah, going into the race, Cole Custer told me Vegas is a place he doesn't really like to come to. Well, right now he came over the radio and said, I'm ungodly free, and I'm starting to lose the right front, so some trouble.
Very disappointed with Custer's performance so far. Had to start in the back, but everybody else that started back there with him is ahead of him pretty much.
Yeah, that free here is terrible because it just gets on that right rear tire and you start sliding around, and there's really nothing that you can do but just slow down. And you try to run high, and it's just too free to run all the throttle up there. And you try to run low, and you just got to go slower in order to put the car on the right part of the racetrack. So really free is a tough spot to be in here.
And, him running, he's running essentially the fence. He gets really close to it in the center and kind of pulls off of it. And he's doing that to try to help, save his right rear tire. But it takes such commitment to run the top. There's so much more on throttle time up there.
Anybody else think it's weird that trucks got digital dash before Xfinity does? Like, Xfinity doesn't have it yet.
He's got his hands full, so
can't talk while I'm eating.
Excited for 10 more laps to try to find the work on.
I'm curious.
More trash on the grill to 16. What the fuck?
They were working to get that debris off. He's 4th right now. Things have stabilized, 10 to go in the stage, and I'm not sure if there could have been any overheating or any damage done to that engine, but if that's the case, and his day could be short-lived.
Zoom that camera out a little more.
Get some stage points, because if you have to retire early, you want to have something to show for a pole run here at Las Vegas.
Well, he's definitely stabilized, and when we started hearing that he was talking about his car being loose in practice yesterday, I was like, oh man, where is this going to go? But his times have stabilized pretty good, and he's kind of fell into a spot here and just clicking off laps.
You know who we haven't said a lot about today, but is performing once again, 3rd place, Austin Hill, Regan.
Adam, great start for Austin Hill, and a lot of speed in the middle to the end of this run out of that 21 car. That is something this team focused on coming here this weekend. They had highlighted not only last week at California, but going back to last season, they felt like their speed was too much on the front side of runs. Changed some stuff up for today to try and transition where the speed and the runs were to being later on older tires, and it's working right now. Just a little too tight in turns 3 and 4 when he's behind guys right now.
Yeah, you know, I mean, these top three guys, Nemechek, Allgaier, and Hill, I mean, they've separated themselves from the field by a long ways. I mean, there's almost 6 seconds in front of fourth. And, you know, the 20, he hasn't really pulled away. He's starting to kind of gain a little bit of a gap here. But these three cars, for sure, early are establishing themselves as the best three right now.
And really, not just today, but this season. I mean, we gave the numbers for Nemechek. Austin Hill wins Daytona, 6 last week, a pair of thirds for Justin Allgaier. I feel like every year we work ourselves into the big three in the Xfinity Series.
There's that stupid phrase, the big three.
But those three certainly doing it not just today, but on the balance of the season. As Sammy Smith tries to get by Josh Berry here, that's the battle for 7.
This has been a heck of a battle.
Look at Riley Herbst running top 5.
Sammy Smith, Josh Berry, and
Kyle Busch up to 9th.
Well. So it might be a case where, you know, Josh kind of moved up.
He's going to be 7th here soon.
Having to come from the back. He went up there and passed the 18, and then the 18 just passed him back. So his car might be fading a little bit, and Kyle Busch's car seems to be the
Speaking
best.
of fading, Allgaier lost a second to John Hunter Nemechek and has fallen into the clutches of Austin Hill.
There's Busch inside of Berry. 2 drivers that will run Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Berry filling in for Chase Elliott tomorrow. Kyle Busch doing the triple and trying to sweep the triple weekend for the 3rd time in his career. Did it 2010, 2017 at Bristol, winning trucks, Xfinity and Cup. He won in the Craftsman Truck Series last night live on FS1. You know, we were talking about Cole Custer and his struggles today. How about his teammate, the hometown hero, Riley Herbst is 5th, and as good a run as we've seen him have here at Las Vegas. This has not been one of his better tracks, but he's performing this afternoon.
Well, he puts a lot of pressure on himself to run well here, growing up here, and obviously, with Monster on the car and the family business and everything that they have in Las Vegas, it can be a difficult thing to manage because of the fact that you have so many things different throughout the weekend than you would on a normal race weekend with all the people around. So Riley's done a good job, qualified decent. I think last year he spun out in qualifying and had to work his way from the back, and this year just a steady start, and he's doing a great job.
And one of 4 drivers to record a top 10 in both races this year. We talked about the 3 guys up front, Riley Herbst on that list as well. Down to 3 laps to go, stage 1.
Been rather uneventful for the last little bit.
Got to the inside of the 7. It's a tough pass.
Hard battle for second.
Especially with laps under tires in 1 and 2. 7 just kind of pinned him down there, and he had a lap car in front of him.
I just saw that they lapped Rajay Caruth. What happened to him? He was running like 12th earlier. He was like top 15.
He wasn't able to really, make any kind of charge to get by him.
Don't know what happened there. I've been paying attention too.
In the top 10, going to get stage points here, and that is significant as you go throughout the balance of the season and you try to make the playoffs and win a championship. A number of guys that
Kyle Busch said, "Fuck you and your stage points." He's 8th.
In a spot to get points. Sheldon Creed in a backup car is up tonight. We talked about Josh Berry, so a really good job by those drivers to maximize the early stint of this race.
Well, I think it's at that point of the run where Sheldon can move up the racetrack, and he does a really good job when he can.
1 lap to go in stage 1.
Works for him at the top.
Final lap, stage 1.
I wish the 48 was fast enough to catch back up with John Hunter. That'd be funny.
He looked the best, got the lead, drove away. Really curious to see where the 10's going to be, where the 8, the 1, where they're going to be. Having to come from the back, use up a lot of their tires, right? I mean, using your tires up like crazy. So it'd be nice to get a reset here, get some new tires on, get some adjustments, and see if they can put anything, kind of charge for this 20, because he's stage 1, dominant car.
3 different leaders, but Nemechek dominates stage 1.
The opening stage here at Las Vegas, his first stage victory of the year, and his first.
Kyle Busch gets up to 7th.
Allgaier comes through in 2nd. Austin Hill is 3rd. Our pole sitter Chandler Smith 4th in stage 1. Riley Herbst gets 6 points for finishing 5th. Other drivers getting points: Hendrick, Sammy Smith, Sheldon Creed, Josh Berry doing it from the back. Nemechek strong early in Vegas.
Adam Alexander said, "Doing it from the back." Well, Well, kids, this was delicious pizza. Sorry you had to listen to me eat it. Excuse me, I am thirsty. Not too encouraged by my race bet after the first stage. Hoping the Double Zero team can recapture that magic of, was it 2019? When Custer was kicking ass? I think my bro Anthony's coming tomorrow to watch the race. Where is everybody today? Where the hell is everyone?
Player of the Year favorite Adam Sanogo as he leads 14th ranked UConn in a conference battle against Villanova. It all tips off 7 Eastern on Fox. I know who Josh Sims is rooting for. Yeah, go Wildcats, right, Josh? Come on, give me a little. There you go.
Well, rather than show him than some random little kid.
All right, pit stops coming here. See if John Hunter Nemechek can deliver after leading 25 laps in the opening stage. This is where you can really make a difference.
John Hunter, Allgaier, Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, and Raleigh Herbst lead them in.
Here they are, Josh.
Yeah, let's start with the 8 of Josh Berry, a 2-time winner here at Vegas. Started 31st in this race, has worked his way up into the top 10, saying he was getting just a little too tight, so they're going to make an adjustment to free him up. Moving on to the 10 of Kyle Busch, also a guy that's been free all weekend long, still a little too free, so they're going to help him out with a track bar adjustment, Regan.
Justin Allgaier in the 7 car, very steady at the start of this race right now. At the end of the run, though, too tight across the.
Why did Josh Berry roll forward there when the jack was still under the car? He didn't fall off the jack or nothing. That was just weird to see that car move forward. And the battle off pit road's going to go to Austin Hill. New leader, Austin Hill. Kyle Busch up to 4th. This guy's got him 3 spots, so it's Hill, Nemechek, Allgaier, Kyle Busch, Daniel Hemrick, and somebody lost a tire into the grass.
The infield grass is not going to be good for someone. Kyle Busch +3, so great effort by the colleague team on pit road.
The tire is across from the pit box of John Hunter Nemechek's pit. I don't know if it's his, though. I hope it is. It'd be funny.
A big advantage as we go racing in stage 2.
I think that was Alex LeBay's tire.
Alex LeBay's tire, Blaney says.
We'll have to come back. He was doing a great job.
Yeah. Let's hear from our stage 1 winner, John Hunter Nemechek.
John Hunter just piling up points early in the season.
Looks like your car is pretty good out there. I love the way that it wraps that line all the way across the bottom in 3 and 4. What do you think, and what can you do better?
Yeah, just taking a
on the 20 team did a really good job. Toyota GR Supra is as fast as Xfinity 10G. So hopefully we can keep it up front all day, make the right calls, stay on top of the racetrack, and just keep this thing turning all day.
10-4, man. Thanks for talking to us and looking good out there.
Appreciate it.
You see Harvick swell up when he said, "I'm just doing my best." Harvick from Atlanta over there. I mean, he's feeling
Oh, I
good.
miss old Atlanta.
You know,
Still looking forward to going to New Atlanta week after
This
next.
car does wrap the line really well. Hey, it's a dangerous place on pit road. Tire getting away. Stage 2 is coming.
Yeah, it's a dangerous place on pit road. Ask that guy from Bill Elliott's crew. Oh, wait, you can't because he's fucking dead. Ripperino. I'm going to hell. Be right back. Looks like it might be another Kyle Busch weekend sweep. He's creeped up into the top 5 now. Is it inevitable? Josh Bilicki too fast on pit road. Ooh, that really changes the complexion of this race.
Would be surprised to know
And
about
Blaney was
these.
right. That
I
was
used
Alex
to
LeMay's
play when
tire.
I was in the single digits age, electric guitar for a Kiss cover band, full makeup. Believe it or not, I was like 8 years old, rocking it. I went to high school with Taylor Swift. That's a good one. I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie. I mean, I don't mind her. I'm okay with it. Some people
Josh
might be
Berry went to high
surprised
school
that
with
I
Taylor
actually
Swift.
vaulted in high school.
Tadolph
I actually
Switler.
did it to get out of PE, but that was a cool thing to do.
There is so much to
Tadolph Switler.
I don't even know where to start.
All right, what's more impressive, the pole vaulting or the full makeup Kiss cover band?
The Kiss cover band.
Josh Berry,
I can be your
he
fucking
knows
drummer, Kaz,
about
if you need a
Taylor
drummer.
Swift. He does know about
I can play the
Taylor
fuck out of some
Swift
Kiss
because he knew
songs.
they were called Swifties. So
That's true.
there's
I
a
wonder,
little more there.
I wonder if she wrote a song about him. I wonder if one of her songs is about Josh Berry in high school.
Well, she wrote a fucking song about every other guy she ever met, so maybe there is a Josh Berry Taylor Swift song somewhere that we don't know about.
Number of drivers and backup cars had to drop to the rear. One of those.
Here we go. We got Austin Hill, we got John Hunter, we got Kyle Busch, and Justin Allgaier. And then two Colic teammates on the third row.
And some of that because they had a tremendous pit stop. Now, I saw the lights are on a pace car, so we're not
And they
gonna go
waved
bring
off
this
the
driver
restart.
out, although we
Waste our
have
time.
gone through the choose process, and Austin Hill
It'd be fun if they made him
sits in
choose
the
again.
outside lanes.
Like, go ahead and choose it again, fuckers.
Yeah, someone we didn't really touch on much.
The 30-foot Joey Gase is stalled on the bottom of turn 2.
You know, he was second on the biggest mover list, had to start in the back. He was up to 10.
Wish that safety truck would just misjudge this and plow into the back of him, spin him out like Natalie Decker or something.
He's always run really well here, and I feel like he might have something today. It's another guy who's able to reset, kind of go back at it.
Yeah, you mentioned the 35 Joey Gase going to get a push. That was the reason that we didn't get to restart that time around, so we'll do it next time, and that gives us an opportunity to pay off points in stage 1. John Hunter Nemechek with a playoff point for winning the stage and gets those 10.
And there's some confusion on the lineup here. We've got 3 wide racing here under caution. Don't know what that's about.
Not going to get any points here in the Xfinity Series. Some other drivers, though, really taking advantage in the early portion of the race, despite the fact they had to start deep in the field. Here's some 10 radio.
Blow off, or did you take it down? Scared to death it was going to blow off, so we took it down. We look like...
They've got Eric Almirola's number 10 logo behind Kyle Busch at the bottom left of the screen. You guys seeing that shit? Fox, do better. He's not driving a Ford. He's not Eric Almirola. Fuck off, Fox, you lazy bastards. You don't have a fucking proper colleague number 10 graphic ready to go.
We've seen pole vaulters. We've seen... I want to see Kyle Busch's golf swing. If you're going to drive the LA golf car, I want to see video of Kyle Busch's golf swing. What do you think, Adam?
Well, why do I immediately think of Bill Murray and Caddyshack when you say you want to see Kyle Busch's golf swing?
You can't drive the LA golf car and not show us your golf.
You know, Adam Alexander, I love your nerdy laugh, but it's just never going to be the same until they get Alan Bestwick back in the booth for some of these.
You never know.
Tells me we'd all need to bring a dozen balls for Kyle if we played.
See, that's how he did a little Alan Bestwick there on that last laugh. Green flag, stage 2. Shitty camera work by Fox, no surprise.
Kyle was able to give a really good shove to the 20.
Yeah, the 20. He can clear the 21 now. I didn't think he was going to be able to. Chandler Smith puts Kyle Busch 3 wide in the middle. Good aggressive move.
What about Chandler Smith in the 16? I mean, just shot out of a cannon. Made it.
That's a good jump there by Chandler Smith.
Get up to the 3rd position.
Ooh, Austin Hill pushed up off of 4, got in front of Allgaier, had to jump out of the gas. Here comes Kyle Busch with a run because of that. Nowhere to take it.
Well, he can't get away from Chandler. I mean, he was his boss, and now he's his teammate. The 10 and 16 side by side for 4th. Allgaier jumps up to 2nd in front of Austin Hill.
Allgaier around the outside of the 20 down the back. Where'd he come from?
Made a change on the 7. Bright red Branch Chevrolet.
Better get by that 20 car while you can and if you can, because based on what I saw at the end of stage 1, you ain't going to catch him. Damn, Austin Hill wanted to go 3 wide so bad, but Nemechek ran down on the apron to the grass, and Allgaier followed Austin Hill down there to his door. 3 wide for 2nd as John Hunter starts to pull away again. Chandler Smith, yeah, the king of 3 wide today. If there's a hole, he's going to put his car in there. Sammy Smith doing the same. Oh, Hemrick got a little loose.
Early in the corner, and he didn't have to run the dead middle because, like you said, I'm not a fan of the middle right now. You either need to all the way on the bottom or all the way against the top in 3 and 4.
I mean, these young kids, though, no fear, right? I mean, we talk about Chandler Smith, who's 20. Sammy Smith, driving the 18, is 18. Hasn't even graduated high school. And he just puts his nose wherever he needs to. We're on board here. It's the Toyota onboard camera.
That was a big run by the 10 car on the top of 1 and 2. He moved back to the 3rd lane, and he's doing it again here in 3 and 4. He had some reps with it. You know, he kind of was up there a little bit in the first stage, and is getting a big run. So his car seems to be working as it goes up.
99 smoking. No caution for that. Garrett Smithley. He made it to the pit road. So.
Told me this morning, I didn't think I had a chance to make it into the field yesterday.
Kyle Busch, 4th place, around the outside of Austin Hill.
Early problems for him as he makes his first start of the year. Side by side.
And Sammy Smith looking to go 3 wide between them.
Make it 4th back there. You got Kyle Busch, Austin Hill, Sammy Smith.
Something that's been a trend, you know, in short runs is the 16 car is really fast in short runs. You know, obviously sitting on the pole, was able to hold the lead there for a couple restarts early in the race. Looks really fast again on this restart. So I'll be curious to see if they got the long run a little better on that car, because it seems to have the great short run speed, but struggles a little bit getting going, or on the long run, sorry.
Well, what do you think about Josh Berry here, Kevin? Outside the top 10, I mean, they made up all that ground early, and now things maybe
Cole
not
Custer,
very-
15th.
Well, I think
Barely any better than he was in stage one.
Was a little bit
No money for me
than it
today.
probably is now. And I think as you go into the race and it gets rubbered up, you have to start making the car work, and you don't have that crutch of being able to lean on the gray racetrack up there and make the car turn and do the things that you need to do. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Parker Klickerman's back at the top 10.
I know when those cars are super fast,
After
they
being
can
spun
run
for no
over the
reason.
top and be able to get
Chandler
going.
Smith's into second place. Nemechek's not driven away like I thought he was about to. When they got 3 wide, I was like, he's going to take off. Now he's only about 2/10 ahead.
On the radio in terms of a spotter for Josh Berry, his normal spotter TJ Majors is out with an illness today, so Josh Williams.
Oh, TJ's sick and can't spot for Josh Berry.
Of course, TJ Majors spots on the Cup side, so Brian Keselowski is going to spot for Brad Keselowski tomorrow. Reed?
Did he just say Brad Keselowski's going to spot for Brad Keselowski tomorrow? He's going to drive and spot the car? That's pretty crazy. That's old school.
Call that pretty typical for Vegas. I don't know how many times I've said that on the radio because of the fact that you come to pit road and the rotors hadn't been used, and then you change the tires or whatever it is. I don't know, but it seems very typical for Vegas to have that vibration.
All right, we were talking a little bit about Josh Berry, and he's got his hands full here.
Austin Hills fell out of the top 5.
The top 10, scored in the 13th position. Watch him in that 8 car.
Josh Berry almost wrecked off a 2. And then the car behind him, who was that, Custer? No, it was Moffitt. Almost did the exact same thing. Sneeze. Springtime is almost here, bitch. Gonna do a lot more sneezing around here. Feels like springtime outside today. I wish I had an excuse or a reason or a place to go outside today because it's so nice. Lively bunch in here today. Ticker says Nemechek's up to a half a second lead. He's gained a few tenths since the commercial. Back for commercial just in time for lap 69. Yay. 3-car battle for the lead.
Your race leader is John Hunter Nemechek. Let's take a look at our
A lot more competitive stage 2 than it was in stage 1.
on stage 1, Sandy Smith from...
Oh, look at Joe Graff Jr. running 19th in a Joe Gibbs car while his teammate leads the race and his other teammate runs solidly in the top 10. Did I mention that Joe Graff Jr. sucks?
Driving that 26 car for Sam Hunt Racing is 20th right now. Let's go back and listen in on 20 Team Radio because he continues to fight thinking maybe a loose wheel.
That's the worst.
It feels like a right side wheel, but
that you have to fight through, and you have to be someone who says, okay, is the vibration the same or is it getting worse? If it stays the same, it's fine. If you go in the corner and when the car loads up and it starts to get more harsh, every time you go in there, the wheel's coming loose. If you go in there and it's consistent, then you can keep going. It's still not comfortable, but right now he's
20 to go on the stage. Nemechek's still running. He's not ran to pit road just yet.
Or is it staying the same?
Because the last thing you want to do as a driver is think you have a loose wheel, come in, and they say it was tight.
Yeah.
And that's on you as a driver, you know. But his car's been moving all around the racetrack. You know, he's missing the bottom of 3 and 4. Something tells me that whatever is going on, loose wheel or not, it's not entirely comfortable to him right now.
And it's not comfortable. There is nothing comfortable about thinking you have a loose wheel.
Look at the difference in lines here. I mean, the top 2 run the white line, Allgaier in the center.
It's about to be a 4-car battle for the lead. Kyle Busch is catching them all.
Right through, and then Allgaier swings back down to the apron at the start-finish line. So intriguing to me to watch these guys manipulate and take advantage of the options.
And Nemechek goes high in 2. Chandler Smith's got good speed on the bottom. Get to that quarter panel and you're there, buddy. Get a little closer. You're not side drafted enough. You're not going to make this pass, are you? Oh, Nemechek lost the nose there. He got really tight.
I mean, he's done a fabulous job.
16 clears with no problem. I didn't think he had any chance at clearing him there.
He would lose track position and go backwards, honestly, because his car qualified so fast. So he's doing a great job, and he's on the gas on the restarts and in the long run.
Back to the
Josh Berry again off a 2. Almost got wrecked.
There's another iteration of him visiting with the wall.
Looked like they had contact with the car.
And he's loose again. He got loose again off a 2. Not as bad, but he was underneath the 98, so.
Stage 1, now racing for that 10th position with Berry, and just behind them, Brett Moffitt, who's making a good comeback.
Custer's up to 13th. That's as high as he's run today. Berry spins off a turn 4. Don't go to the grass. He spun through the grass and it didn't tear the car up. Josh Berry spun through the grass and it didn't rip the splitter off. Holy shit. Yeah, I'd say he had some handling problems.
I'm going to hit this guy, and he ended up just spinning it out. So
harmlessly spins to the quarter-mile track and drives down pit road.
They would have come in and try to get their car tightened up because he looked like he had his hands full. And a potential break for the 20 who might have had a loose wheel.
Big break for the 98 that the 8 car didn't spin and take him out, too.
Across the racetrack. Yeah, you know, that is... The cars just tend to get loose right there. It's like they go to the transition of the banking and there's some bumps right there. And if you get off the bottom and up the racetrack, the car gets light anyway. And that just took it was side by side, took a little air off the back of the car and just lost it there. But the one thing I am noticing on the backstretch too, the wind is shifted directions right towards turn 4.
Yeah, that makes it worse, right? Well, yeah. His situation was he got heavy wind hitting you in the left side door, pushing you up the racetrack. You have a car to your outside, so you can't use all the racetrack. So he was in a tough spot.
I love when you talk science. On board Custer.
He blinded me with science. That's what Adam Alexander wanted to say.
I'm never going to be able to think of Cole Custer the same after I saw him pole vaulting.
Pit road is open, and Josh Berry going to go ahead and come down. Obviously had to with the spin. We'll see if anybody follows suit. I would anticipate not with this many laps to go in the stage. Sometimes you'll
guys further back my pit, but that's about it.
Too early to try that strategy.
Yeah, you know, I think tires fall off too much. You know what I mean?
And Nemechek's pitting.
He must think he, definitely had a problem.
Nemechek's pitting from the top 5. He's the only one.
20 coming in as well. Let's follow up with Regan Smith.
Well, and we mentioned and documented the fact that he felt like he had a loose tire. That's ultimately what brought them down pit road right here. Better to play it safe than to have an issue. what they are going to do, they just about 5 minutes ago glued up the scuff tires that they took off the car on the first run. They are going to put those tires on it to get through to the end of this stage. That way they're not at a deficit tire-wise as it gets down to the end of this race.
So you basically give up any opportunity to get stage points here in stage 2 by this strategy, but you save that set of tires so you're in balance with everybody else, and you still got a chance for a late rally. Caution out for the third time.
2 legit cautions today so far. Oh, look at all that sod they're going to have to fix before tomorrow. Old King Leach in the 10 car hasn't shown that much muscle today. Anybody gonna watch Chris Rock live on Netflix tonight? I'll probably forget because I don't care that much. Oh, Brian Keselowski's going to spot for Brad tomorrow. That's interesting. Haven't seen old Brian Keselowski in a long time.
Cup Series rolls into Vegas. And the stars of NASCAR on the big board, including this week. Now, Kevin, I'm really
Kevin, how about you aren't on the promo?
That's what happens when you get old.
See, here's the deal. We're just already welcoming him to the
They still haven't mentioned the fact that Blaney's only on the promo because Chase Elliott broke his leg.
Like you do.
Right.
We got you.
You know, he's been around for a long time, you know, so he's already known. You know, I need all the exposure I can get.
I take it.
You know?
Take it while you can get it. You know, I like this shot. They call this a working camera. Does this work?
Well,
okay.
We didn't have you on a promo, but you've got your own page.
Most West Coast wins by active drivers. We're doing fine.
Yeah, you did.
Not to mention Harvick's won Sonoma as well. So yes, most West Coast wins by an active driver makes sense. 9 at Phoenix, 2 or 3 at Sonoma.
6 in a row or something?
Yeah.
Do you really not know? I feel like we keep asking you.
Won
questions
Fontana in
all day.
2011.
Your stat line.
Vegas with the flat back window a few years ago. Anyway, restart. 12 laps to go in stage 2. Third on back on the bottom line didn't get going, so Allgaier has no real help here. Kyle Busch is oh boy. The 18 almost wrecked with Sam Mayer there going into one. Side by side down the back for first, second, third, and fourth. Top four got away clean because of that jumbled up mess going into turn one. Look at the 16 hang on the door of the 7, but Allgaier's going to clear him for now.
Clear 7 on point with 11 to go on the stage.
And the 7 did a great job of not overdriving 3 and 4. You had the 16 tight on his regular quarter panel, and the 7 just put it in line and was able to get back to the gas and get clear.
And that's just another lesson for Chandler, right? You know, because you have to figure out these restarts and how hard you can push it on used tires. You've done it on new tires, but now you're having to do it on used tires, and it becomes a little bit different. You have to be patient.
Watch the 18 is Sammy Smith, bottom of your screen.
Yeah, he got into the back of the 1 there. He was just up to that quarter panel, and Sam tried to block it a little bit.
Cole Custer in the top 10 for the first time today. Restarted 12th.
Got connected on the restart, and neither benefiting. The other teenager in second right now, Chandler Smith behind Allgaier. Hill, Busch, and
Brandon Jones top 5 first time today. Where'd he come from? How's he going to get wrecked today? That's the real question.
Restart violation on the 7 of Justin.
Oh, they're black flagging Justin Allgaier. Restart violation, Justin Allgaier. I didn't see that at all. I just thought the cars behind Allgaier just didn't go.
We got word that the restart was under review.
To me, I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary at first glance. I just thought the 1 didn't get going. Okay, Allgaier did kind of go early. He might have launched there. Now that you see it again. Because the 16 was the leader.
Man, I didn't see much.
Oh my God, Allgaier almost got rear-ended coming to pit road to serve his penalty.
I'd love to get some more definition.
The 16 almost wiped out the 7. They didn't even react.
Adam, the report from the team to Justin Allgaier was that he went below the line before the start-finish line. You
Really?
your left side tires above that line. He went down too soon.
This is his 18th race here. First time he's ever been penalized in Las Vegas.
Well, that's a great reminder for all of us because, you know, you wind up being able to go.
Well, you're getting a caution in 7 laps now. You're just not going to get any stage points here.
And just a little bit
Got a Chandler Smith Austin Hill battle shaping up for a stage win.
Everything has to stay above that white line.
Good news for him, 7 to go on the stage. So he does the pass-through. He's exited the pit lane. He's going to stay on the lead lap. And he'll keep himself in the game. And don't forget, last week finished 3rd at Fontana after an unscheduled green flag pit stop where he got a lap down.
Yeah, we know. Allgaier can overcome it. It's a shit penalty, unfortunately, but it's not going to ruin his day.
One more time with radio from Justin Allgaier.
Tell them if they want to penalize people, watch the games on restarts. That's all I can tell you. Listen, we're not even halfway.
Here we go again. Everybody accusing each other of bullshit on restarts. Everybody does it. Even the people that accuse other people. Get another look at this restart. They said it was the left side tires. Yeah, that counts as changing lanes. He went all the way down on the apron, so it's pretty obvious.
There's really no reason to give any gray on these types of rules because they're easy to officiate, and as a driver, that makes us easy to know. And to me, it's just you forget about stuff like that until you get in these situations and it happens to somebody that's actually even the rules. So it's you know, that's a tough penalty. And I know Justin is frustrated, but
Hill showing the nose to Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith takes a shallow entry into 3. Kind of got baited into that. I think that's going to hurt his exit speed, and it does. And Austin Hill's going to take the lead very easily here. 4 to go. Austin Hill out front.
4 laps to go, stage 2, and the 21 has found his way to the top spot.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Call it that apron like that.
The 21 showing
And here comes the 9. The 16 suddenly fading.
He's fighting for second right now, so it's always interesting to see how cars.
Brandon Jones got a big points deficit to dig out of early in the season. Kyle Busch, what's wrong with this? The 16's got a problem. He's slow. He's really slow. He's like just barely on pace. The 9 flew by him. The 10 just drove around him.
21, the 9, and even the 10. I mean, Kyle Busch, he's got some speed here too.
Kyle Busch going for second.
When you have a heat cycle.
Nemechek had to pit because of that wheel. Allgaier gets a penalty, and here comes King Leach, Kyle Busch to take advantage.
Good news is 3 laps to go on the stage. So
Coming to 2 to go now.
hang on to it here.
Ooh, the 9. Why would you cut away from that?
98 was gaining
Did you see the
ground.
fucking 98 and the 16? They're about to kill each other here.
Sam Mayer 2 for 1.
And they cut away from it
He's
like
in
dumb
the top
fucks.
5.
Like, damn. 98 was about to run over the 16. You cut away, and then you look back, and they're dooring each other just ever so slightly.
I wish I could tell you why, but
2 to go. Well, I don't think this 98-16 deal's quite done yet. 16 looks back up to speed. Oh, we got a spinner. Rajay Caruth. Well, coming to 1 to go. Caution's out. Austin Hill's going to win stage 2.
1 to go this time around for Austin Hill. He'll end up getting the stage victory. Caruth hangs on to it. It's our 4th caution of the afternoon, and as I said, that will serve as the ending to stage number 2.
He's already loose right here. Gosh, that was weird. You know,
Spun out by himself from the bottom.
Video and turning off into turn 1. You know, he was already having his hands. Well, he did a great job keeping it off the wall and staying on the lead lap at the same time.
How big is that for Chandler Smith, who had fallen to 6th, was likely going to lose more positions before the end of the stage, and now he can ride around under caution and pick up a solid top 10 and get some more stage points.
The plot thickens. Got some adversity for 2 of the best cars. Got the 16 and the 98 getting chippy with each other. Sam Mayer took advantage of that.
He was going to catch him, and then Chandler was mad because he hit him in the back, and he's already hanging.
Brandon Jones held off Kyle Busch for 2nd.
Sammy Smith passes them both.
Look at this top 10 as we come to the green and white checkered flag. Austin Hill wins. It's going to be a 2nd stage win of the year. Also won at Daytona. Brandon Jones 2nd, then Kyle Busch. After that, though, teenager Sam Mayer, teenager Sammy Smith, teenager Chandler Smith. I mean, youth is served in Las Vegas. All these drivers picking up some much-needed stage points. Riley Herbst, Cole Custer, Brett Moffitt, Sheldon Creed. Complete your top 10. But it's Creed's teammate who delivered in our 2nd stage. Austin Hill.
Come on, little stream, load back up. Nobody's commenting anyway. People are watching, nobody's commenting. Did gain a new subscriber, so we're 1 past 900 now. We got 99 to go. Quick, everybody go make your fake accounts so we can bump me up to 1,000. Then I can start trying to monetize myself again. Pretty sure it means I have to stop cussing on stream. Like that's gonna fucking happen. Maybe some videos I'll go out of my way to not curse. Money can motivate a man to do some pretty stupid things. But on these live streams, oh, it's Potty Mouth City.
We talked on the way to break about the youngsters getting it done in stage 2. A couple of teenagers and a 20-year-old finishing inside the top 6. Talking about Mayer, Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith. So let's look at those teenagers. You got Sammy, you got Sam Mayer, Parker Retzloff. All of them doing great things early this year. I mean, Sammy Smith leading laps.
Who told Sam Mayer smiling like that for that picture was a good idea?
Sam Mayer in California, Parker Retzloff career best at Daytona. And that takes us
Adam Alexander played high school football.
I can't find a picture of me in my racing suit. I mean, we went straight to the wrestling picture.
Yeah, I like how you were pushing your biceps up in that.
I mean, when you don't have big biceps,
you got the squeeze going.
I was all of probably 112 pounds.
Really? That was your weight class?
I think I was 103. I think I was 98. 103, 112, 130, I think is what it was. So
nice.
I was a little guy.
What's the quickest you ever pinned someone?
Pretty quick. I don't remember the exact time. Yeah. I had this hip toss that I wasn't very good at wrestling, but I had this hip toss where I could just throw them on their side and choke them.
Hey, little known fact.
Can we show you?
I was the no, thank you. I think I've seen it before in the garage actually a couple times.
Oh, Adam, that was actually funny.
Josh, here they are.
And let's start with the 9 of Brandon Jones. Been really good here, still searching for that first win. Quietly moved his way up to second. He's been really good, feels good about the back of that car today, but he's a little tight through the center. They're going to make an adjustment to help him out. As far as the 10 of Kyle Busch, ongoing process of getting that car where they need it. They're going to make a track bar adjustment, air pressure adjustment to see if they can set him up for this final stage.
Sammy Smith in the 18 car fires off, runs good, but needs help on the exit as the run goes on. That's the biggest issue for that car when he wants something to fix. The 21 car.
Great stop for Kyle Busch.
Good all day long, especially on that most recent restart. He loved how it was on the
But Austin Hill's going to win the race off pit road. Kyle Busch second. Josh Berry third. What?
Could be under green. We'll see how the cautions fall.
He had to have missed his box or something,
Could
right?
be enormous toward the end of this race. Austin Hill wins the battle off +1 for Kyle Busch. Not sure.
What's up with Josh Berry?
+21. No tires, so I guess they're just saving a set here and trying to gain track position. Is that?
Well, so he put stickers on when he spun,
right?
And then he just rode around.
Yeah, okay.
Towards the end of that stage, so they just took gas to try to get that track position back. So he has a handful of laps on his tires, but he just rode around at half speed. So
yeah,
yes,
I
saved
like
a couple
that.
laps.
Great call by crew chief Taylor Moyer, and a good finish to the stage for his teammate Brandon.
You heard him, Josh Berry. Gas only because he spun earlier and then rode around at half speed, caught the stage in yellow, and now he's back up front with slightly worse tires than everybody else.
Ryan, go to channel 2. We had to go to channel 2. We're on to channel 1.
Hey, Brandon Jones, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, Adam Alexander up in the Fox booth. You got me?
Gotcha, buddy. What's going on?
Man, well, you put on a really good show coming all the way from the back. Had a little bit of issues on pit road before the race, but that Menards car is looking really good. Tell us a little bit what you're thinking.
We are ripping for sure, man. It's been fun. Enjoyed driving this Chevy Camaro to the front here today. Got some guest Joe ones, so that's pretty cool. Putting on a show for those guys. And just need a finish, man. We've been really fast these first 2 races. Haven't been able to finish and show it. So hopefully today's turnaround point for that. And we got a Chevy that can win the race.
All right, sounds good. Well, keep doing what you're doing. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate it, brother.
5 career wins for Brandon Jones, 2 of them on mile and a half. It's a great day in Las Vegas. It's windy, but these kids don't know the difference. They just haven't.
Stop it with the kids, Fox. It's creepy. It's been creepy and will continue to be creepy. would have slept longer today if I didn't get woke up to there's Bojangles in the kitchen. I was like, fuck yeah. Is everybody alive out there? All 7 of you? Letting me twist in the wind by myself today. Got friends. I think they'll be here tomorrow. Certainly have more to say then. Here's the hot chick in the DiGiorno commercial. I mean, she was hot until she got that creepy look looking at the pizza in the oven. You know, DiGiorno pizzas are good, but they don't look that good when you cook them. The commercial's bullshit. Oh, they're showing little Braxton Bush. Boy, are you guys ready for when the Cup Series is Braxton Bush and Keelan Harvick? Is that going to be annoying or endearing? Probably annoying.
Against each other, more with each other.
Because I bet Braxton turns out to be a little shithead, but I bet Keelan turns out to be alright. Because Keelan's got a good mom. Not that Braxton doesn't, but he's too much like his dad, probably.
Keelan's a trash talker, so maybe Braxton...
Oh, well, Harvick just said Keelan likes to talk shit. Well, he gets that from his father.
All stock race I can find, and I'm going to lap you twice. That's going to be his first lap.
Why am I not surprised? Hey, couple of total competition. Couple of stories to pay off here.
Stage 3, 104 laps to go.
Who came earlier when they had to come under caution because we knew he was fighting it. 2 penalties.
Jeremy Clements, he was running like shit. Sieg was a non-factor. Surprised about Sieg. Las Vegas is Ryan Sieg's best racetrack, it seems. And he's not even been in the top 10 at all today.
Kudos to those drivers for calling those loose wheels.
That's why he probably saves their sanity too.
Yes.
Austin Hill, Kyle Busch, Riley Herbst, Josh Berry on slightly older tires. And we'll see how John Hunter Nemechek and Justin Allgaier bounce back from their issues. They got strong cars. I like Chandler Smith's car. He's making another aggressive 3-wide move on the bottom. Passes Herbst, passes Berry. He's into third. Man, Chandler Smith's really good on these short runs and restarts. If he gets a restart on the second row, he can win this race.
Chandler Smith, look at him right there in their hip pocket in the 16.
Kyle Busch just getting better and better as the day goes on. Ooh, Chandler Smith trying to move the 21 up off the bottom. Got to go down on the apron on the front stretch. Kyle Busch takes the lead at the line. Josh Berry looks like he's as fast as these guys on the little, slightly older tires. Kyle Busch leading just in time for stage 3. It's the truck race all over again. 2 Kaulig cars, Busch and Chandler Smith. I think Kyle Busch is really going to elevate Kaulig's Xfinity program. They were a little down last year. Allmendinger had a great year last year, but the other cars were a bit of a struggle. I think Kyle's going to elevate that. They're going to get a lot out of him. Even though he shouldn't be in this series, I'd like to reiterate that. I'm not condoning him being in this series, but he's here, so we got to deal with it. Be careful on the outside of Josh Berry. His car is just bad loose. It's looking like it's trending that way again.
Talk about the first 2 races and the things that they've had go wrong, but they had fast race cars.
Kyle Busch leading at the halfway mark.
When you go to a new team,
it's top 5. Throw a blanket over him.
Races go bad because you feel responsible for it. You feel like everybody's looking at you like, oh, he's not that good, or this situation's not going to be that good, and then you come out and today it's just been, so far it's been smooth, and they've run up in the front, and to have that confidence keep building is what he needs.
And his crew chief is Jason Burdett, who, although he hasn't won, he was Justin Allgaier, enjoyed all that success over the years when Burdett was calling the shots for that 7 car. So he knows what it's all about. And hey, don't look now.
And hey, what the fuck was that? Oh, Chandler Smith going to take the lead from Kyle Busch here, possibly. He's so good on the bottom. Chandler Smith's car on the bottom of the track is better than anybody else. Most other cars I notice have to go to the top to get around people. Chandler Smith can pass you on the bottom easier than any car out here. Could be Chandler Smith's day.
Against some other teenagers or 20-somethings. I mean, I just said it. Kyle Busch is the best ever in the Xfinity Series, and he's able to drive right by him. Impressive. And Chandler, we talk about these young guys. Sammy Smith's 18. He's still taking classes to finish and get his high school diploma. Chandler's 20. He's married and he's got a kid at home. So, I mean, you talk about opposite ends of the spectrum in maturity rates. He's doing things 40-year-olds are doing.
Up to that top dash. They're still clear by 5.
Driving off and leaving Kyle.
In Las Vegas for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Chandler Smith leading.
Boy, I swung and missed on Cole Custer today.
We'll take it side by side on FS1.
I'm ashamed of myself for making a bet that bad. I hate when my bet doesn't even run top 10 consistently. Tomorrow I got Chastain and Suarez. I feel a lot better about that. Good battle with Mayer, Herbst, and Sammy Smith. Josh Berry still 5th. His tires aren't that bad. Allgaier's back in the top 10 finally. John Hunter Nemechek's 15th. Allgaier a little loose off of 2 underneath Hemrick. Falls back to 11th. Oh, no, it's 10th. He's still 10th. He's still top 10. Ticker hadn't updated yet until I said that. Something's changed in Nemechek's car. He's getting passed by Reddick now. Back here in the teens. Parker Kligerman's not too far behind him.
We've reached the final stage for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Las Vegas Motor Speedway with Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney. I'm Adam Alexander. 92 laps remaining. Chandler Smith is leading. A story we need to pay off is, Justin Allgaier running in the 8th position, penalized for a restart. He was on front row, lap 79, had to do the pass-through, didn't lose a lap, but lost a ton of track position.
Allgaier's 8th.
Outside the top 15 to begin this final stage, and here he is in the 8th position, and really we shouldn't be surprised. Junior Motorsports strong again. They swept the podium here 2 of the last 3 races, and when you look at Allgaier, the veteran out of Illinois, I mean, he's been on a ride dating back to last year. 7 consecutive top 10s.
Allgaier looks stoned in his picture.
3 consecutive third-place finishes.
I didn't know if somebody that old could take an awkward yearbook photo.
He and his wife Ashley, who's here today, 17 years ago today. They walked down the aisle. That means Harper's in charge at home, right? So, anyway. Sam Mayer trying to get back in the top 5, racing Brandon Jones. There's a couple of team cars for Dale Jr.
Josh Berry's 4th.
Yeah, going back to Justin Allgaier,
It's a great strategy they played to recover from that spin. They're so lucky that car just didn't get destroyed when it went through the grass.
Getting back to the front, but I really like the way that
Allgaier to 7th.
right there. I think he's being patient.
Picking him up and putting him down now. Nemechek up to 11th.
He's just taking his time and being very methodical about one car at a time and make sure I'm putting the car in the right spot so I don't burn my tires up.
Chandler Smith's got over a second over Kyle Busch up front.
Junior Motorsports Chevrolets. And hey, there's a streak on the line for them. They've won 5 consecutive races at mile and a half going back to last year. Conventional mile and a half, right?
Joe Graf Jr. is 20th. So he runs marginally better in a much superior car than he would in the usual shit box he's driving.
Get under the rubber, you see kind of a darker patch, a streak of rubber off of 4, and that's stuff slick. If you miss it and wash up a little bit, you're really in trouble. You saw the 9 miss the bottom.
Is it too late for Gibbs to renege on that deal?
Back behind them, 9th right now, Toyota on board. This is Sammy Smith.
John Hunter Nemechek back in the top 10. He's 9th. Allgaier's 6th. They're coming. And I still think even if it goes green, they got time. Got like 85 to go.
Well, let's just back up a little bit there on that comment to Sammy Smith. And we saw him running the top. We heard about him talking about murder in the line, and that's what we've been talking about on the bottom. But the process of going around the top is trying to get the car in the right place so that you can go in as far as you can without pushing the front tires or getting loose, and being able to go back into the throttle as much as you can to the center of the corner and hopefully either just breathe it so that the car rotates.
Mayer and Allgaier just passed Josh Berry.
So
Allgaier's top 5 again. He is going to be a factor in this race by the end.
To get your rhythm down, because it is hard to get a rhythm.
Yeah, if you go up there 1 lap, 2 laps, and it's not the best and you bail on it, you need to run more than that to kind of get your flow down, like Kevin said, because it's drastically different than running the bottom. Your throttle inputs, where you lift and brake and all that. So, I don't know, maybe he was just trying something a little bit. You see he's still running the wall, but opposite of what Justin Allgaier is doing, and that's been just, as the spotter put it, murdering the line the whole race, and it's been paying off for him.
And hey, speaking of Allgaier, I don't know that I've ever said about him that he's driving angry, but he definitely was disappointed after the penalty. And when you look at the results, it's hard to ignore that maybe there's some added motivation. I mean, he's back in the top 5, and he's done it pretty quickly.
Well, the one thing about running the line down there is you drive the car to the line, you set the car, and as soon as it gets to the line, you go back to partial throttle, and you try to shove that car around the corner as far as you can with as much partial throttle as you can to keep it low. And like Ryan was saying earlier, the part where these guys are making time is they're able to keep their car below the rubber and also keep air on that left front fender in order to help keep that car turning.
My God, Custer's passing someone.
Started out back today, didn't make a ton of progress early. At one point, worked his way to the top.
So demoralizing.
13th, racing Sheldon Creed. Just in front of Custer, Parker Clearman. And if you weren't with us early, a couple of laps in, some contact with John Hunter Nemechek. He goes for a spin, has to make a pit stop, but he's staying with it. And Patrick Donahue, as crew chief, told me, our focus is just making sure we finish where we need to finish. And he had a top 10 last week. And
look at Chandler Smith stinking up the show now.
Chandler Smith.
Brandon Jones falling all the way back to 9th.
41 laps. He's out in front of teammate Kyle Busch, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, the top 5. Everybody going to have to pit one.
Everybody. Do you guys know that there's an IndyCar race tomorrow? Of course you didn't, because their marketing sucks. Do better, IndyCar marketing team. Guys are putting me to sleep here. Kind of like this long-ass commercial. Kyle Busch has cut Chandler Smith's lead in half during the break, according to the leaderboard.
75 laps.
See how accurate that is.
At Las Vegas, in the midst of a long green flag run here in the final stage, Chandler Smith in front of Kyle Busch, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier continue to be the top five.
And Kyle Busch within striking distance. Allgaier's fifth. He hasn't passed any more cars, but he's close. He's right behind Mayer.
In and around guys for position. You get to the final stage, things start to drift. Guys, as you guys talked about, start moving.
Kyle Busch searching around. Kyle Busch is running the very outside wall trying to run down Chandler. And here's the pass for fourth for Allgaier. Kyle better search around and figure it out and get by the 16 while he can, because the 7's coming.
He hasn't been able to run as high in 1 and 2. But
Chandler's a bottom feeder today. Kyle Busch is looking up high.
The 16's lead. It's not a lot. I mean, it's half a tenth, maybe a tenth. So we'd be curious to see, okay, when does the 16 decide to move up and have to do something different? You know, because the second place guy's catching you, he's doing something different. Spotter's got to relay that, and you have to understand that there comes a time you need to do it. And if he's going to do it, it probably should be now, because much longer, the 18, or I keep saying the 18, but Kyle Busch is going to
Well, they both better figure something out, because
Harvick's saying what I just said. Figure it out, because Allgaier's going to get there.
And has put down some great lap times the last couple laps.
Harvick sounds like he's losing his voice all of a sudden.
And in a perfect world, I mean, for Allgaier, you probably want to caution, tighten everything up, and maybe gain some ground on pit road. But even if you don't get it through a cycle of green flag pit stops, maybe short pit a little bit here, he could really find himself right back in the mix. You know, you're talking about Chandler Smith and needing to move around and paying attention to what Kyle's doing. But he's so young, and very few long green flag runs like this in his history, because of all the time in the Craftsman Truck Series where you just don't see this. How much are you
Still fucks me up when they say Craftsman Trucks. I feel like they're making a mistake.
Behind me, are you telling him, hey, you got to think about moving up, or here's where he's gaining? Well, what do you do if you're on the spotter stand or you're his crew chief in this situation?
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with his preparation and the things that go in.
Somebody get Harvick Ricola during the next break.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, listen, he moved up from 1 and 2.
Some water, maybe.
And he's actually gapped Kyle a little bit here, you know. So
Yeah, Chandler stretched it out now. It was down to about 4/10. Now it's back up to a full second.
Was closing in on Chandler for a little bit. There's two sides to run the top. You know, it can get you speed, but it also wears your stuff out a little bit more than running the bottom. So now it's gotten to where Chandler's pulled away from Kyle. Kyle's starting to struggle a little bit. So it's a good thing he didn't change his line, just by a little bit 1 and 2 to run the middle, and I think that's got him to where he's been able to, you know, be able to be faster than Kyle.
Parker Clearman will save off the corner after some contact.
So everybody running into Parker today. Kyle Busch falling back to a second and a half behind Chandler Smith. Here comes Austin Hill for second.
On Kyle Busch, Austin Hill taking advantage of the 10 as he drops to the inside and trying to pick up second with 70.
And Hill takes it, and Allgaier is chipping into that gap as well.
Stuff up there right on the top, you know. It's you have to run more throttle, more steering wheel. You know, you're just kind of beating up your stuff, and like I said, it might have just went away for him. It showed speed for a while, and he might have just burned his right front off of it.
You know, the one thing to keep in mind as you look at those top three and Chandler Smith working the lap traffic here.
Some real treacherous lap traffic, putting you 3 wide in the middle.
So, you don't say they're teammates, but there's a lot of commonalities between those vehicles running in the top three. And then
Allgaier passing Kyle Busch, third place. How did Kyle Busch go from being within 4/10 to 2 seconds off the lead and back to 4th place?
2 seconds behind the race leader. Man.
Yeah, I heard about the actor that played Sonny Farrelly died today. Rockstar actually posted a tribute to him on their Twitter.
About the win today. Here's our race leader, Chandler Smith, on the radio.
Means Sonny and Tommy are dead.
Might only be 20 years old, but that's a very veteran thing to say, you know, is keep me updated on the wind. I know it's gusting. I've missed the bottom there a couple times. Why is that? Okay, the wind's gusting more, you know, so keep me updated on that as a driver so I know how to change my line around, or not even maybe change your line around, just know what to expect, you know, maybe back up turn 3 a little bit to make sure you don't miss the bottom. So that was a very, very veteran thought that Chandler Smith had.
You know, he might have veteran thoughts, but I was talking to him in the garage yesterday, and he couldn't be more of a kid. I mean, just bouncing around, off the walls, excited about what's going to happen. And I mean, you see it in the race car. When we talked about him on these restarts, how aggressive he is. Refreshing is Chandler Smith.
Oh, your Joe Graff Jr. performance update. He's 18th in a JGR car. All of his teammates are in the top 10.
Series the last couple of years as Kyle Busch continues to drift back a little bit here.
What's up with Kyle Busch? Why is he falling off a little bit?
I just wonder if he's not, you know, nursing a little something with that.
I would expect Kyle Busch to be one of the first cars to pit here in a little bit.
You know, we're within 5-6 laps of being in the window to pit and go the distance, and probably 10 or 12 laps, I would guess.
Here's Allgaier for second, man. I think Allgaier's going to win this race.
Allgaier looks at Hill for second.
Starting to think Justin Allgaier is going to win this race.
Crucial for Allgaier to get by Austin Hill.
Especially if it goes green. Short run, I give Chandler Smith a strong shot, but if this goes green all the way, Allgaier's going to win this.
My car can wrap the line longer than yours, and I'm going to make you pay for it. And now that he's gotten to second, he's got, you know, a little bit of clean track before he gets to
second place and clean track in front of him.
You know, to try to see what he has. Okay, you got some fresh air on your nose now. Now let's see what you can do to cut into the gap of the 16.
What's going on with Kyle Busch right now, Josh?
Yeah, you talk about some
Kyle
struggles.
Busch falls to
Kyle
5th.
Busch, getting over the radio said he's just tight through the center 3 and 4, and he's starting to lose the bottom on both ends, which is why you've seen him fall back a little bit from the front.
Yeah, 5th right now. Sam Mayer able to get by him in a 1. You know, we talk about Chandler Smith. Got to give a call to another young guy in Sam Mayer. He is really matured. I mean, he starts Daytona and going for the win and ends up upside down. Finishes outside the top 20. Bounces back last week. No practice at California. Matches his career best second and answering the bell again this afternoon.
He's definitely done a great job, and I think the progression that he has made from last year and what the start of this year is really, really promising. So I'll be excited to see where Sam Mayer can go through this whole season, because I think he's going to be contending for wins and potentially a championship.
39 laps since the restart to begin the final stage. Allgaier, 18th to 2nd.
Is Sam Mayer going to be good, or is he just another Riley Herbst in disguise?
Incredible what the 7's doing here. And oh, by the way, he's never won here. Three runner-ups. And you can see where everybody is since they last pitted. And they need to get probably another 4 or 5 laps. I mean, really a couple of laps and they'll be inside their window. But 4 or 5 will ensure that you would have enough probably to go the distance even with some overtime. And the window is open. Green green flag pit stops underway. The first to give it up, not really surprisingly, is going to be Kyle Busch. In fact,
and Kyle is pitting first. He's pitting this time, it looks like.
This will be the time for him. And he's going to come down.
Well, sideways. Barely missed the commitment box. 60 to go, and Kyle Busch pits from the top 5.
Kyle Busch just came over the radio before he came into pit saying he's getting really, really tight, especially towards the end of that run. So they need a little something to help him out.
By being the first to pit, getting those fresh tires first.
Here comes Chandler Smith. Not going to let anybody beat him to the pits. The leader's pitting.
Allgaier stays out. So
Guess they see how fast that 7 is. They want to beat the 7 to pit road to salvage any hope of holding him off.
Smith on Smith, Regan on Chandler, the leader coming your way.
Adam Chandler Smith, it feels like that team has been doing a great job all day long, keeping up with the racetrack. That's one thing he's been very pleased with this run. Quiet on the radio. He's told to focus on looking out front and worrying about what he needed to do there. He's been quiet since then.
All right, keeping in mind, Kyle Busch was 6 seconds behind Chandler Smith when he came to pit road. So we'll see how all of this
Here comes
out.
Allgaier and Austin Hill together.
Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill,
Lap car, the 39
Ryan
pits
Sieg
with him. I don't know if
also
that's going to affect them or not. I don't know where the 39's pit box is in relation to Allgaier. There he goes. Didn't really affect him.
He's been doing a great job all day of conserving tires and telling the team that he was conserving tires to have a little speed at the end of runs. Needs to continue doing that. And Austin Hill in the 21, too loose on the throttle. That's the first time he's mentioned that all day long, meaning the back wants to step out when he gets on the gas pedal to exit the corners.
Allgaier was 1.6 seconds behind Chandler Smith when they cycled to pit road. We'll continue to follow the progress there. More green flag pit stops, Josh.
Yep, and the one of Sam Mayer is coming in. He said that car is pretty good, just a little snug on the bottom, so they give him 4 tires, fuel, and make a track.
Whoa, the 18's in the pit wall. What the hell?
This is a young driver making a green flag pit stop, inexperienced.
The 18 spun onto pit road, it looks like.
he got to the 1 box because they were full over the wall doing their stop.
Yeah, Blaney's right. The 18 spun and just barely got it stopped before he went into the 1's pit box while they were doing their pit stop. So the 18's going to lose a lot of ground.
It continues to get better to the point now where it's the best it's been all day long. Really likes the long run speed. Josh?
Yeah, the 8 of Josh Berry coming in. He said he feels pretty good about that car. Not sure about the balance. He said he just needs some tires when he does come in, guys.
We talk about green flag cycles.
Josh Berry pitting.
Well.
Joe Graff Jr. is 3rd, but he's not pitted yet.
First stall would be an advantage today, and it paid off for Austin Hill. He's actually going to cycle in front of
Wow, Austin Hill's going to be the leader when this cycles through.
And surpassed him, which is huge for the 21.
It's going to be Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, and then Kyle Busch, and then Allgaier will be 4th.
I mean, so much experience for him.
Wow.
And you got to believe experience matters, and you talk about location.
So Austin Hill and Kyle Busch are the big winners on this green flag pit cycle.
Report Sammy Smith has been penalized. I'm assuming he was quite too fast entering, right? I mean, it had to be it. It was a penalty. I didn't get a call on exactly what the penalty was.
So the 18 lost a bunch of time spinning and then gets a penalty on top of it.
So we're looking at the scoring pylon. Anthony Alfredo yet to come down and get his service, and then it will all cycle through to Austin Hill as the new race leader with 55 laps to go. Brett Moffitt in the 25. Talk about being aggressive coming in. Watch Josh Berry.
A lot of guys just barely missing that commitment box. Remember when they used to put an actual cone there? Until they realized, wait, that's just a debris caution waiting to happen. Hell, that makes me surprised they got rid of it. They love debris cautions. Chandler Smith is retaking the lead, and Fox missed it. He got around Austin Hill. Kyle Busch is 2.3 back. Allgaier over 3 back. I guess they just didn't do their job on pit road as good as the others. Pitted a lap after the 16, but that shouldn't have cost him that much time. What's this fucking lap car doing? You see that lap car running up in front of the 16? Who is that? This is Joe Graff Jr. Joe Graff Jr. in the middle of the corner changed lines to move up and block the 16. And now he mirror drives him down into turn 3. And the 21's closing back in.
So tire management is still very important.
Brandon Jones scored 11th, but he was penalized.
19's last car on the lead lap, and he's driving like a dick.
Flag cycle, so he will have to make a pass through.
So I can't get lapped and driving a JGR car. But by God, he's doing all he can to get in the leader's way.
Most should have at least one set of tires.
And the 16 got to his outside in the middle of 2, and the 19 couldn't move to do anything with it.
With pit stops, and Chandler Smith has a slight advantage over Austin Hill. Kyle Busch a couple of seconds back. 3 seconds in arrears as Allgaier. Sam Mayer completes the top 5 as we go back and watch Chandler Smith running down Austin Hill.
The Austin Hill was a little bit of traffic, so he had to run the second lane. Looks like he got really loose right in the center and just opened the door for the 16.
The difference in the race there was nobody can run the bottom as good as Chandler Smith. If this goes green, that was the last stop, but I don't think it goes green. I think somebody will spin, somebody will pop a tire. They'll all have gone 55 or 60 laps on a set, which will be the longest they've ran all day on a set of tires if this goes green all the way. So I'm going to say there'll be one more caution, at least one more.
Usually your air pressures are a little bit lower on the yellow flag stops, but you have a couple of pace laps to work them in and kind of get the pressures up. And green flag stops, you're going right away, right? You're supposed to be up to full speed, so having lower pressures, maybe it makes it harder to kind of get going, and we saw the 21 kind of struggle to fire off for the first handful of laps. It seems to kind of stabilize right now, so we'll see if they're running lower pressures, if that pays off for them in the long run.
More bad news for Brandon Jones. When he did his pass-through on the speeding penalty, he was caught speeding again.
Brandon Jones sped on pit road twice during the cycle. Well, at least he's not been wrecked yet today. There's still 49 laps to go. And there's Brandon Jones making the lonely drive to serve his second penalty. Allgaier has fallen 4 seconds behind in fourth. He's going to need a caution now. Looked like he was just going to run Chandler Smith down and win this straight up, but lost time on the green flag pit stops, and now he's going to need help. I think they're all going to need help as good as Chandler Smith looks right now. Didn't AJ win here year before last in the 16? And we're back.
In Las Vegas for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, 44 laps to go. We just completed a cycle of green flag pit stops. and you see where drivers were before the cycle and where they are now. You know, biggest exchange, Chandler Smith continues to lead, but Justin Allgaier, who was so good late in that last run, has dropped to 4th after the cycle. Sam Mayer from 5th to 4th. Let's hear from the 7 team here talking about that last set of pit stops.
If we're short, are they short, or did we not get it full? No, something I pitted you a little too early. I should have ran you deeper. Right now we're at a half a lap.
They told Allgaier he's a half lap short on gas. Said they would have liked to have run him longer, and they should have, but I think, I mean, if you ran him longer, he would have no chance at winning this race. If you ran him longer, he'd probably have cycled through in about 6th instead of 4th. He would have lost more time and a couple more spots. So they had their hand forced by the early stop by Kyle Busch and then the 16 right after. So they're half a lap short, they say.
You do that for whatever the engineers are telling you that you need to do that amount of save for the amount of laps.
Kyle Busch really loose again.
Save the gas that you need if they're that close.
I mean, he's obviously faster than
Allgaier's going to get back to 3rd place, but he's closing in on being 5 seconds behind.
The leader, if you don't get a caution, I mean, you've given up more than 2 seconds over where you were in relation to Chandler Smith prior to the cycle of stops. So I'm not going to say he has to have a caution, because we have seen him turn it up over the course of the long run today, but it will be difficult with 41 to go.
You know, it will be, and there's two ways to approach that. You know, they said he was a half lap short, so then you have a decision to make. Okay, do I save now, you know, early in this run? You lose track to the leader, but then maybe you can go hard at the end of the race to see if you can make some late race charge, or do you just go hard, you know, and hope you get a caution? If you don't, and if you don't with maybe 10 to go, then you start saving, you know. So there's kind of 2 ways to approach it. I've been on both sides of it, and I don't know which one is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You're kind of hurting, you know, no matter what, but that's what they decided to do.
Chandler Smith working through lap traffic. Sometimes it's easier than others, and here, coming up on him, and maybe loses his focus. Watch what happens here as he runs up on these guys.
Still got a 2.5 second lead on Austin Hill.
Woo! I guess we missed it. All right. I got a little excited. That's what happens when you haven't seen it. You try to talk about it, and then boom, swing and a miss.
Yeah, I think it was, you know, Reddick in the 24 and Clements in the 51. Reddick had a big run up top and did a big kind of top to bottom swing when he realized there was not going to be a lane.
Joe Graff Jr. is running harder now that he's a lap down than he did all day long. He's 14th a lap down, first car lap down. And he's about to be the second car lap down because Chandler Smith's going to lap Tyler Reddick.
In front of Chandler Smith here, and does that hold up to 16 and open the door for Austin Hill? Maybe even Justin Allgaier to gain a little ground.
Well, the good thing about everything that's happening is this right here. He's running the top of the racetrack, and Chandler's running the bottom, so Chandler can get some clean air in his car. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit give and take in 1 and 2. Just try to maintain your distance, make up your ground in 3 and 4. Pick and choose where you can make up that ground. So just be patient, put your car into clean air, and just let it come to you.
37 laps to go. Let's take a quick 30-second commercial break. We'll come right back for the finish. It's been a wild afternoon in Las Vegas. This is Sammy Smith.
The Sammy Smith spin is why, now that we have shorter fields, they got rid of the first couple of pit boxes coming onto pit road. Try to help with that issue. Be right back. They did say that was a quick 30-second commercial.
Out front for 82 laps and in charge with 35 to go. And he has a 2.5-second advantage over second place Austin Hill, and still trying to get around Tyler Reddick and put him a lap down.
Yeah, and I think it gets worse as he gets closer, right? Reddick starts to run his line and where he wants to be. You see a big piece of trash up in the top of turn 1 up there. Looked like a trash bag.
Harvick's trying to holler for debris cautions.
I think the 16 will get it done here. You got a good run off of 2. I think he'll be able to clear Tyler. Tyler's going to try hard. I mean, right? He wants to stay on the lead lap, but the 16 finally got by him. Without too
Parker
much
Kligerman,
didn't close on him too much.
last car on the lead lap in 12th.
So he did a good job there being patient.
You know, you think about the day for Chandler Smith. Goes out yesterday, wins the pole, and we all felt like it's going to be hard to maintain that track position. He did. Then he had the debris on the grill. Thought he was overheating. At one point, we got a report he might be blowing up. But they battled through all of that. In fact, he had that caution. If you go back, he had that loose wheel at the end of stage 2, and he might have fallen outside the top 10, maybe lost a lap, had to make an unscheduled stop. Caution comes out to end the stage so they can ease out of the throttle and make their pit stop under caution. And then we have a cycle of green flag pit stops. Not easy to execute. He doesn't have the most experience in that category. But once again, he delivers.
Yeah, and the one thing that sticks out to me, I think, for me sitting up here today, I'm kind of judging Colleague on their cars from last year. I felt like AJ did a great job of getting them great finishes, but they just didn't always have the speed and things that they needed last year. These are different race cars. These Colleague race cars right now, that Chandler Smith is doing a great job, but I always tell everybody, you can't drive a slow car fast. And that car is fast. Chandler's doing a great job with it, but Colleague has done a great job in turning their program up, and you know the performance on the racetrack is showing.
Chandler Smith and Kyle Busch already making a huge difference. Daniel Hemrick still running about the same. 9th place on the lead lap.
And you look at the new owners and the various dynamics.
30 laps to go this time. I still think there's going to be one yellow.
Justin Marks and Pitbull and Brad Keselowski and his involvement now at RFK. And then I look at Matt Colleague. I mean, totally non-traditional. A businessman that comes in and starts with a part-time Xfinity operation. And how many times have we seen that? And it's a flash in the pan, and it doesn't work.
He loves it.
And he's doing unbelievable and growing it from the ground up. It's been impressive what they've done.
Yeah, Matt Colleague loves racing, and he loves to win. The only thing I don't like about Matt Colleague is every time I see him, I know I have to walk up to him. He's got this big ring on. He wants to shove it right into your fist as hard as he can every time you see him to say hello.
Well, yeah, he's a college football player.
Oh.
College athlete, and turned a successful business into a wonderful racing operation. Chris Rice has worked really hard to lead the bunch, and here they are today in position for another victory. Got 12 cars on the lead lap. Reddick went a lap down. He was 13th. Last car now scored on the lead lap is Parker Kligerman. Second place, Austin Hill. Won the season opener at Daytona. 6th last week in Fontana. And in line for his best Vegas run today. You got Justin Allgaier back there in 3rd. It feels like this is how the race should finish, because if he finished 3rd today, it would be the 4th consecutive race where he came home at the bottom of the podium. That's incredible. Kyle Busch trying to sweep the weekend. Won last night in the truck race, making his return to the Xfinity Series. 2 wins here at Vegas. Hometown boy is 4th, driving for Colleague for the first time. Going to run that car 5 times this year.
Well, Sam Mayer's putting together another fantastic run. You know, he's been really consistent. You know, you said it.
Daniel Hemrick's dropped to 10th. John Hunter Nemechek is permanently 8th place ever since the start of stage 3, it seems.
You know, we felt like there'd be a lot of focus on Josh Berry this weekend because he's won here twice in the Xfinity Series. Little did we know. And in case you haven't heard, Chase Elliott broke his tibia snowboarding in Colorado yesterday. Had surgery last night. He's going to be out an indefinite.
Yeah, Chase Elliott broke his tibia.
Josh Berry, who drives the 9 car this weekend for Hendrick.
And you got a road course and a super speedway coming up, so I don't see Chase coming back for a little bit. Gonna miss tomorrow, gonna miss Phoenix, gonna miss Atlanta, then Coda, and then they'll probably see about coming back.
John Hunter Nemechek, successful afternoon, won the opening stage, had a loose wheel that cost him some track position.
Sure, that was fun, breaking your tibia. Jesus Christ.
Sheldon Creek, 7th last year, 9th right now. Would be his first top 10 of the season. Second-year driver out of California, piloting the 2-car for Richard Childress Racing, and rounding out the top 10, Daniel Nimmer. Statistically, this is one of his better tracks. Now, the South Point colors on board this weekend. The Gaunt family does such a good job of taking care of the NASCAR community when we come out here to Las Vegas. 24 to go. We'll step aside. The finish coming in Vegas. Chandler Smith.
I'll say it might be an anticlimactic finish if my prediction is incorrect about one more yellow. Fuck off, YouTube. I know I'm on. Oh, Jaguar Gators streaming the XFL game. God bless everybody who loves football enough to watch it all damn year. I love football, but generally only NFL football. I don't have it in me to watch XFL. Chandler Smith made this race boring. Ooh, well, I thought that was going to be a debris yellow, but it's a little trash bag floating away, and now it's stuck in a catch fence. So it's all good. Fox actually caught something interesting there. So we stay green. And we're back for the last 20 laps to close this fucker out.
Here in Las Vegas, part 2 of our West Coast swing. Last Sunday evening, we were rain delayed in Fontana, California. John Hunter Nemechek was able to win for the 3rd time in his career. But one of the great storylines to come out of that race is rookie driver Chandler Smith, who got a career-best 4th-place finish at a very difficult track that he had never seen before last weekend. In fact, was able to get a top 5 with no practice, no qualifying. The momentum carried over. Comes here to Las Vegas, wins the pole, and is dominating this race. 2 more laps led will put him at the century mark. The question becomes, can he...
Oh my God, Nemechek 7th. He got out of the 8th place funk.
He wants to see here is a caution with 19 remaining.
Stop trying to speak it into existence. Adam Alexander. Let's just accept that Chandler Smith's dominated this race
on this run of tires,
and move on with our lives.
It's difficult to drive. We see a lot of guys running up the fence, and it just has that feel of green flag, and if it's going to be a caution, it'll be late.
And John Hunter Nemechek might cause it. He ran into the fucking
that was almost your caution.
Left rear of the 98.
Racing tight there with Riley Hurst. 7th and 8th on track. 78, Anthony Alfredo cuts in behind race leader Chandler Smith. Continues to be 12 cars on the lead lap. Last of those, Parker Kligerman. He's 28 seconds behind the race leader. See the lap times here for Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, he made a little bit of ground. He and Austin Hill made a little bit of ground on the 16. He was Chandler was stuck in a little bit of lap traffic and put him a couple laps and lost, half a second or so. But he's been able to pick it up, and he was 2/10 quicker than those guys this past lap. So once he got clear, and
Xfinity seems to be exciting for half a race this season, and then the end is kind of meh.
Whenever he wants, you definitely have to pace. It's just a matter of maintaining your gap.
Still
right?
got 15 more
You got a
laps.
2-second gap. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, I said lap time. That was obviously the interval to the leader. Here's what they're saying on 7 radio.
Definitely time to go. It's hard right here because pushing it harder doesn't necessarily.
Allgaier and Hill have both started gaining. I think it's a little too late for Allgaier. We'll see about Hill. He's got it down to almost 2 seconds with 15 to go.
Here we are at under 3. He's knocking it down a little bit here.
Yeah, a lot of times the team has to know. Tell me what you're doing. I mean, how are you doing on saving gas? Where are you at? Are you wide open? And what's the risk versus reward? Should I oversave in order to make sure I finish third instead of 23rd?
Hill's got the lead under 2 seconds now.
Lap traffic for Chandler Smith.
He's got a lot of lap traffic in front of him.
Yep.
I mean, there's 4 lap cars in front of him. They're kind of running every lane. One's running the wall.
Yeah, Blaney's right. 4 lap cars in front of the 16, and they're all running different lines. One on the bottom, one just up off the bottom, one in the middle, one up top.
He can still take his time.
They get off the corner, though. That'll make it a little easier.
13 laps to go. Hey, add to all that the pressure of trying to win for the first time at this level. I mean, it's hard to put a price tag on how someone this young can handle the big stage.
There really hasn't seemed to be much to bother him today, though.
You're right.
The restarts, Kyle Busch, whoever it was, he just went 3 wide and made it happen. So
Hurry up and wrap this race up. I feel a bathroom break coming on. 12 to go.
Talking Rock, Georgia. Began racing go-karts.
We got to get out of here before I start talking about my bowel movements, NASCAR.
Championship before moving to late models. In his 4th ever start, he won an ARCA race at age 16. Said, I'm ready to go racing in the Craftsman Truck Series. Partnered up with Kyle Busch, where he won 5 times the last couple of years, including a victory here at Las Vegas 1 year ago. And there's the man that feels like today he's got the master plan. Matt Collig, the car owner who signed Chandler.
Well, the 16 car is still good at Collig.
Labor in his 3rd career start as a full-time driver. 11 laps remaining this time by.
Well, think about Chandler Smith. I mean, Chandler Smith was a Toyota truck guy, and those guys at Matt Collig and his team reached out and said, "Hey, we're gonna go grab this guy, and we're gonna put him in our car." And that's a gutsy move, to go out and take a chance like that. But obviously, they had some insight and confidence in what Chandler could do in the car, and Chandler is showcasing exactly what he can do today.
10 laps to go. It's down to 1.3 seconds. So 16 still got to close this out and finish strong.
Up front, among them, the boss man, Kyle Busch. You talk about the Toyota connection and what he was able to do the last couple of years. I mean, that win here last March was incredible for Chandler Smith. Here's a look back.
Yeah, Chandler Smith's good at Las Vegas. Trucks and Xfinity, it seems.
Good stuff.
He's definitely found his best racetrack in his young career.
The lead's down to under a second.
Austin Hill's kind of coming. He's putting on a charge, and Allgaier's coming too. I thought it was too late for Allgaier, but I think they can both get there now.
Now Austin Hill and Allgaier have to pass Sieg, so it's difficult.
They're going to catch Sieg down the front stretch, though. It should be easier for them.
Just a little bit here once he's finally got clear, but probably a little bit closer for comfort, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a lot closer than I thought it was going to get. 8 to go. It's down to a second. Clean racetrack in front of the 16 now, as far as I can see. Clean track for the 21 and the 7 as well, so see how it plays out here. But what a charge by Austin Hill and Justin Allgaier. Allgaier at one point was 5 seconds back.
2 cars behind him, and now that he's able to get clear track, we'll see what the lap time is as he
Don't choke, kid. 7 to go.
He's been on the bottom most of the day, and when you're on the bottom and you creep in on on a lap car and it takes the air off the front of the car, it winds up costing you more time because you can't go anywhere else and your car's not versatile.
He'll chipped away at it a tenth or so there, but now Allgaier's catching the 21. So this might be Chandler Smith's saving grace. If Allgaier gets side by side with Hill for a straightaway, it's game over for both of them. This could help Chandler Smith here, the 7 catching the 21.
Definitely better than the 21, you know, but 21 is running his lane and doing a good job of staying on the bottom of 3 and 4, and it's forcing Justin to have to move up, right? Because he has to.
They gained a little more of that lap. They've gained a tenth a lap the last 2. Good turn 2 there for the 21 and the 7. It's starting to get a little nerve-wracking, kids. This ain't over yet.
You're looking out. Let's hear what Justin Allgaier thinks.
5 laps to go. Allgaier could feel it. He said, let's get the Jaws music going. He knew he was gaining.
Running down to 16. You know, I mean, I thought the 16 was going to be able to kind of stretch it out a little bit more.
Oh, boy, I think Chandler Smith might choke this thing away, guys. We might be in for a good finish here. It's been a long green run here the last 100 laps.
The nerves are there. You know, I mean, you had a 3-second.
But now we might get a battle.
Just over half a second now. Now it's a matter of, okay, compose yourself, do what you've been doing all day, hit your line, and be able to finish this thing off.
Yeah, that's one thing.
4 to go.
How comfortable are you being uncomfortable? And, you know, right now is a day where this is a moment.
See if that air changes the handling of the 21 the closer he gets to the 16. A tenth and a half, maybe 2 every other lap, it seems. Put the pressure on here. Coming to 3 to go. Just a little closer. He's inching closer every lap. Never would have thought this would end up this close. I think the 16's still going to hold on and win, but I never thought it would be this close.
It's going to get inside a half a second here.
It's going to be interesting. You know, as the 21 gets closer, all right, he's going to get more dirty air. So do you move around if you're the 21? You've been chipping away. You know, you're under half a second.
Can almost get a pull down the back off the draft of the 16. Next time by, he might be able to get a little bit of a draft.
That's where it needs to be right there. On that white.
That's where they all need to be.
That's really the best way.
2 laps to go.
Right now is try to give as little air as possible to that car behind
This
you.
race is played out naturally, and this could be fun here.
1-2. Both drivers
Stay on that bottom 16. You can't give him any clean air. The 16 came up off the bottom a little bit. I don't like that. The 16 slipped up off the bottom, and the 21's there. I said it. He'd get to that draft down the back. He can't hold the bottom. That's been his strength all day long, and he lost it there that last lap. He gets it pretty good in 3 and 4, but the 21's back in the gas. Here it is, pass for the lead. Austin Hill takes the lead at 1 lap to go, and here comes Allgaier. Austin Hill takes the lead coming off a 4 to the white flag. The 7's not going to have enough for the 21, I don't think. Unbelievable. 16 really did blow this, didn't he? Thought the 7 had the best car here. They're both gripping the bottom really fast. Austin Hill off turn 4. And a late charge. He wins it. Austin Hill wins Las Vegas. Justin Allgaier second. Chandler Smith third. Wow, man. 16 really blew it there. He missed the bottom of turns 1 and 2 one time. He was losing a tenth and a half a lap and then missed the bottom of 1 and 2, and that did it. Way to go, Austin Hill. Not just a super speedway merchant. A 1.5 mile victory on a proper 1.5 miles. I know he won Atlanta last year, but like I said, he's not just a super speedway merchant. Heartbreak for Chandler Smith. That's brutal to lose like that.
Not painting the white line and letting him get air on the
Brizoodle.
Just misses the white line by a foot, and it just allowed Austin hit it perfectly, and he was able to just hook that line and get a great run off of turn 4.
Well, they said the one thing they needed in that 21 is to get better. They said they needed to get better.
That's the best when you want to race like that. Sneak up on him at the end and just take that shit. He earned it. Austin Hill earned it. Had to be. That's the most soul-crushing race I've ever seen for a young driver
Number 4.
in the Xfinity Series, I think.
Pair of Daytona victories, got the home win last summer at Atlanta, and today he delivers for Richard Childress Racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
And that was a perfect burnout. Ended driver's side right in the middle of the start.
Harvick did some burnouts in a 21 RCR car in this series. He would know.
And what a year for RCR already. You know, one Daytona with Austin Hill, one last week on the Cup side with Kyle Busch, one today. I mean, RCR is off to a very, very
RCR is on fire, and they got a real strong shot tomorrow. Can't wait to see that Chandler Smith interview. That's going to be a doozy.
Continues to grow in the various areas of his racing craft. He's become a good road racer. We know he's good on the super speedways. He proved that at Daytona. And
Saw people were bashing Austin Hill after Daytona. Super speedway merchant. I'm not like the biggest Austin Hill fan. I think he's kind of bland and boring, but can't deny he's talented.
To race for wins at the end of a race and perform under pressure situations, and this is where they learn. And Austin has definitely been getting better.
For RCR, it's their 5th Vegas win. Let's hear from the victor down to Regan.
What a start to the season it has been for Austin Hill. 2 wins in 3 races. This one extremely exciting. It comes down to the last lap. You had to run a 60-plus lap run at the end of the race there. Still had something left in the race car. How exciting did that get?
Yeah, all those laps on those tires.
Passing one of the lap cars early in our run when the 16 got by me. I got really, really loose on entry to 3.
He cycled through to the lead during green flag stops, and then the 16 passed him back and drove away.
I just knew I had to, not abuse the tires and try to methodically just work our way through traffic. Traffic was really tough today. You had to really paint the line down in 3 and 4. If you missed it by, it seemed like half an inch, you paid for it for the whole lap. So that's just really what I stuck to all race long, was just trying to be really disciplined down there in 3 and 4. Our 1 and 2 was okay most of the day, but entry to 3 I was struggling. The 7, you could tell he was coming out back, and he could really drive in deep and roll to the center a lot better than I could. So I saw the 16 struggling in traffic, and my spotter Derek was like, "Come on, baby, you can get it." We got 5 to go, 4 to go, 3 to go. And when I saw him get tight off of 4 there, I knew I painted the line perfectly, and I knew if I could clear him down the front stretch, I felt like once we got clean air, we could hold him off. So I can't thank everybody at RCR enough. Our Global Industrial Chevrolet was good today. I wouldn't say it was perfect. We still got some things to work on, but it feels good to win on a 1.5 miles, not just these super speedways.
Oh boy.
Chandler Smith led 115 laps, but what happened at the end? And I saw you just talking to Kyle Busch. What did he say to you?
Yeah, and just overall, I got a little tight there at the very end, which it is what it is. That's a tough pill to swallow. There's some things I could have done inside before we started building tight. Just getting my lead.
He's handling it well.
Have a bigger buffer, but all in all, I can't be too disappointed. This is my 6th start, 3rd start with colleague racing. We have a really, really fast quick-side product, Chevy Camaro. I'm just really appreciative of everybody with Matt Colley, Chris Rice, everybody colleague racing for bringing me on board and believing in me. We're gonna win a few races this year for sure.
A lot to be proud for Chandler Smith, guys.
No doubt, Josh. Mad respect for Chandler Smith. I mean, it doesn't get the finish he wanted, but handled it like a pro, and he'll be back. No doubt about it.
That's brutal.
Congratulations, Austin Hill. You are the man in Las Vegas. He is hit the...
Well, that ended up being... That came out of nowhere at the end. I don't really know what to say. That was exciting at the end. But I'm out of here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you guys will talk more tomorrow. Jeez. Good night, everybody.